everybody? What's good? What's good? Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope I have everything right. I think I had the StreamYard set up for the wrong place, and then I corrected it after the fact. So, um, salute to everybody watching. Salute to everybody watching on YouTube. I'm gonna try to clip some of this stuff and put it on other social media sites at some point. Just want to have the conversation with everybody. Salute to everybody. Man, running a little late, man. Blood sugar got low. You got peanut butter and jelly right here. Trying to stay away from the bread and all that stuff, but y'all know how it is, man. Your blood sugar get low. Your blood sugar get in the 60s and the 50s. I think my blood sugar was like in the 50s. That was a little disturbing. So I had to do the emergency snack thing. But thank y'all for coming through, rocking with us. So the title of tonight's show is What Have They Done For You? Right? What have they done for you? And I'm going to ask you guys about that from a political perspective. And I know a lot of you guys and gals range and vary in opinions. I know you range and vary in opinions from you don't dabble in politics to all the way to you care deeply about a lot of different topics, whether it's local politics, state level politics, and federal politics. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I want you to help me figure some things out. Some things I care deeply about. I'm not going to lie to you. Some things I care deeply about. Some things I'm on the fence about. And maybe in the next 45 minutes or so, we can figure out some things. Again, I generally don't eat during these things, but as a diabetic with low blood sugar, y'all already know the vibe. If you're a diabetic and you know the vibe about low blood sugar, you already know the vibe. So I'm gonna start with a few things. Right. Okay, so I'm getting a bunch of notifications here. Let me do this to check out the notification stuff. That's my phone telling me my blood sugar is lowest. It's at least at 66 now. Before it was 50, 53 at one point, but we're getting there. What is it that you care about? Corey Lee is in the building. Salute. So I'm going to add the link in the chat, right? I'm going to add the link in the chat, and I'm going to ask everybody if you want to say something, just relax and not talk over somebody else. Be cordial and civil. Don't cut anybody off, is what I'm saying. If you come in the chat, I'm telling you right now, cutting somebody off is unacceptable. I just can't have you up here. Right? Like if you want to say something like, hold on, man, I don't mean to cut you off. You're already violated. So that's just the rule for tonight. The rule for tonight is if you come on stage, if you enter, be contrite about what it is that you have to say. But if somebody else is speaking, just wait until that person is finished. Just wait till that person is finished, just out of respect or whatever. So, but here are, I have a spreadsheet here. I have a spreadsheet here, and it's asking the question, what is important to you? Right. Let me add a question mark here. What is important? What is important to you? Right. One of the things that's important to me is being able to take care of my family. That's important to me, right? And the range of that is 10, right? Now, here's the thing. What solutions are there? Corey Lee, what's good, bro?
What's good, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm chilling, man. So I have a spreadsheet here, right? And I'm asking questions here, right? I'm asking what is important to you and what are the ranges of how important these things are, right? And so to me, let me do this. I'm just going to fix this up and make it look a little bit more fancy. For me, I'm asking the question, what is important and how important it is to you as an American, right? How important is it to you as an American? And what is your solution for it? So I wrote take care of my family, right? Now, what does that mean? Does that mean just mean money? Does that mean healthcare? Does that mean education? To me, it means all of it, right? So that's what I added there, right? So what's important to you as an American?
Oh wow, there's several things that are as an American that is important to me, and I was thinking about what I thought I was going to say. Oh, excuse me, let me fix this real quick. I'm sorry, please. I apologize about that. Um, Stuff happens. Um, I have several different things because I'm a family man as well. So I worry about, and I'm a man of color, excuse me. And I mean, I know to a lot of people, you know, you would think nowadays in this age, this time, that we shouldn't be worried about this, considering how long things have moved on, how far we were supposed to have come, but it still sits there in the back of my mind,
Right.
you know. But my family, financially, all the things that you listed, and as well as some sort of even though they say we have it, but I need to see more uh, 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 legal legal understanding, not such a straight a straight disparagement on how I see my community being governed. I mean, those are just a few of the things that right now on the top of my head that are very important.
Okay. Okay. That's a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's a lot. Um,
Hmm.
so how do you feel about how things are currently for all the things that you mentioned? Do you think those things need to be improved upon?
Uh, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And unfortunately, I feel like if you know what I'm saying, being a man of color, if I don't provide something to you directly outside of being a everyday Joe or well, being an everyday Joe outside of being a celebrity or having something that I have a monopoly on, or if I'm not a public figure, you know, life for me is a lot harder than the average person, than the average American. Not
Why
to
is
say
that?
that, huh?
Why is that?
Because it feels like I gotta work 30, 40 times harder. I gotta prove myself to a lot of other people in order to gain and get some respect, in my country. You know, I've been fortunate to travel outside my country and see how a man of my complexion is being treated much more of an equal than in my own country, and is beloved
Okay, so I'm gonna add what you mentioned. So racial equality is important to you.
very much.
All right, so I'm gonna add that too. And when you mean very much on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it? Now, mind you,
15.
everything can't be 10.
I mean,
Everything
no,
can't be 1.
okay, no, 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 no. I mean, to be honest, at least a 7 at the worst case scenario.
Okay.
7.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I agree with you some also with the racial equality piece of it. I think I agree with you there with the racial equality piece of it. So Joe Biden has been your president for 3 plus years. How has a Democratic president improved how you feel about racial equality?
The same way I felt when I voted for uh, um the dope smoker. you know, uh uh what's my man name? Uh
Marion Barry?
no, not Marion Barry. President Clinton hadn't it hasn't changed. And to me, some days I feel like it's progressively getting worse. Or if not, more things are being brought to light, considering the age of the internet, and what I'm saying, we can see more things in real time. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. What I would say about the racial equality element of it, um, I believe in racial equality, but I also believe in age equality, sex equality. I believe civil rights is across the spectrum, right? Like, say if you believe in same-sex marriage, right?
Hmm.
Say if you believe in that,
Hmm.
right? Then if you believe in same-sex marriage, I believe you should be protected under the Constitution,
Hmm.
right? My belief in same-sex marriage is I'll say this, and it'll sound controversial, maybe it is, but I wasn't raised to believe in same-sex marriage. So the same-sex marriage concept is new to me. Maybe the last 20 years or so, I'm going more and more. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that I don't believe in the people. Listen, man, y'all, hey, do what you want to do. Right? Do what you want to do. As long as y'all are safe, man, I'm cool. Salute to Knicks for Life in the building. Salute from Rome Far Rock in the building. The same-sex marriage thing, it's a concept that I have to get used to. Right? It's just what it is, because I was born in the era of a traditional looking marriage. Now, mind you, I have been around terrible traditional marriages. Right? I've seen traditional marriages be bad for people. Right? I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced that. So I'm not saying traditional marriage is better than same-sex marriage. What I'm saying is I grew up being more used to one thing than I am seeing the other thing. That's a new concept to me. Right? I was also raised in the church as a Christian, as a Baptist, a Southern Baptist at that. Not just Baptist, but Southern Baptist. Right? You know, thank the Lord for everything. Everything. Right? Everything you do. You find a penny on the ground, thank the Lord. So that's my background and how I was raised. Right? It's just a part of it. So occasionally when I see new stuff, I have to get used to what this new thing is. So I don't have a prejudice towards it, right? To these things. These things are just new to me. Right. So with me, when I hear like equality, the first thing to me is I want to, my priority is have the ability to take care of my family in a society that's fair to all people, regardless of age, race, color, sex, background, or whatever.
I totally agree.
Right. And the second thing is, my second thing, I want to be treated as a man, respected as one. Right? So because I was born in the era where I was born right outside of that segregation window. Like right at the end of segregation and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and mid 60s. I was born right outside that window where people still had the segregation mentality, and you'd be somewhere, and an older white gentleman would call your granddaddy with a whole bunch of gray in his beard and in his head. He'd be like, "Hey, boy." And I'd be talking like, "Hey, you talking to me?" He like, "No, I'm talking to your granddaddy." So I was born in that window of that. I remember some of that stuff. Right. So when it comes to equality, like those moments help me become a better man. I'm able to manage relationships better. Because I saw some stuff as a young man that helped me realize as when it's my turn to be a decision maker or a difference maker, I'm going to be the man that's going to make things better for everybody across the board.
Of course.
I'm going to be a contributor to society. I don't want society to give me anything. I want to add something to society.
Be solution oriented.
Yep.
I'm with you, bro. I so do agree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, I said I so do agree. That's all. Keep going. You good? Cause you cooking.
So, yeah. So with that said, my entire life watching the Democratic Party, and I'm a part of the Democratic Party, by the way, for everybody that don't know. If you don't know my background, so I'm a part of the Democratic Party, but I'm not a bend over the other way Democrat. I'm more towards the middle, right? I'm more towards, if a Republican says something I agree with, I'm going to agree with them. You're right. If they say something that speaks to my core values, I'm going to co-sign it. Right. That's just, I'm on the line. Right. I'm a Democrat that could easily go Republican, vote Republican, if what they say to me makes sense and on a grand scale. Now, with that said, I come from a family background that says you don't have to know what the Democrats are talking about. Just vote Democrat. Just pull the lever.
I know exactly what you mean.
Just go the whole Democratic ticket, right? That's what I was told. Man, when you go to the man, I just go pull the lever, man. I vote all Democrat. You know, and they have no political education. Right. And I'm gonna tell you the Democrats that I remember, right? Jimmy Carter.
Yep.
Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Joe Biden. And if you ask me if Democrats have been a better alternative to Republicans, what I would say to you as a man in my 50s over the years, as I look back at that, I would say absolutely not. I have no idea over the years what a Democrat has done for this country over that stretch of 40 plus years that I mentioned. From Jimmy Carter through Joe Biden, I have no idea. And I watch politics. And I engage in political discussions between Republicans and Democrats. But I have no idea what Democrats have done over the years, especially in terms of continuity. Like, what connective tissue have they had that gives me confidence that if I do this thing, if I vote Democrat again, that something will change? I feel more vulnerable now as a Democrat, as somebody on the line, right? Like I'm not legit. When I say Democrat, I'm on the line, bro. Like I'm on the line. Like if like I could easily go, maybe not be Republican, but vote Republican at any time. At any time, I can vote Republican at any time if what they say is correct with me, with my personal belief system. Now,
go ahead.
When Republicans are in office, in my opinion, tangible things happen. Right, like when Republican, I'll give an example. When Republicans are in office, you can best believe the country is going to go to war somewhere. You know, there is going to be something that happens,
some kind of conflict.
Something that jumps off when Republicans are in office. Something happens, whether you agree with it or not. Something happens when Republicans are in office, right? Republicans tend to make things happen. Democrats tend to talk a lot.
Preach, man. Wow.
So what else is important to you? Is there anything else you want to add to this list? What is important to you? Racial equality, take care of your family.
I mean, that's the most. Racial equality, everything like that. And then I'm gonna say this. You know, everybody talks about civil rights. Damn that. Let's get it off of civil rights. Let's talk about human rights because that's what it basically boils all down to, you know. And I feel like this because the Republicans and Democrats were both all they care about is this capitalistic society. I'm not saying I want to be a socialist. I'm not saying anti anything. What I'm saying is that we need to start looking at human beings more so as human beings. Like how
But you
you
gotta
brought up.
human. But when you say human rights, what do you mean? Like
Okay,
human rights is broad. Like instead of saying
uh,
human rights, break that down into an individual topic.
I'm gonna break this down like this. Okay, it's funny how doctors get to capitalize on medication and hospitalization, healthcare.
Healthcare. Okay, so healthcare.
Yeah, um, education. Anywhere we go outside of this country, the things that we gotta save and pay for, and when we become older Americans, and we're gonna get older, and all of our health is gonna fail. We have to be concerned about having these things in order to be alive. You know, and and to be competent in this country. You go outside of this country, and these are the things that are here. You know, they provide it for you, and not just the basics, but the top of the line stuff. If you know, a regular man and I'm just certain Libya, just out of nowhere, Libya. You know what I'm saying? They have a stroke, heart attack, taken care of, and they're seeing the best of the doctors in that country. You know, we're not, and these people are not looking at it like, well, I'm getting paid extra. You know what I mean? It's like it's like an understanding. It's like it's like it's like I'm proud to be able to do this because I went to school to be this. You know, I mean, I'm just I bug out over just certain little things that are made affordable elsewhere, but here. That's
Okay.
why I say human rights because as a human being, I feel like, and especially as Americans, we're supposed to be so much greater than everybody else. But as a simple person, like this is America. This should not be this should be no such thing as homelessness.
All right. So let me pause right there on that. I want to
Hmm.
mention. I want to talk about the healthcare system just really quick.
Hmm.
The healthcare system is not what we think it is. The healthcare system is similar to any major industry, such as the banking system.
For profit.
Right, right. Just hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish this. The healthcare system has an element of customer facing workers that get paid wages, and they are financially backed by major corporations. Right. So when you see a hospital or a healthcare provider, you shouldn't look at it as if the person that's taking care of you is the final boss, right? Like, for instance, Dr. Doolittle is not the final boss. Dr. Doolittle is another step on the rung, right? these hospitals are ran by major conglomerates, right? And they get government subsidies and they get tax breaks and all of these things by being a contributor to your community, right? Think about the doctor as stage 2 of a jigsaw puzzle that has 500 stages to it. When you go into reception and you get logged in and you see the doctor, they gather your information. That information doesn't stay there with that doctor's office or that hospital or that emergency room. Your information is entered into a network that has a bunch of moving parts in it, and they share your information in order to see if there is something that they can help you with immediately, or retrieve information from other places where they can understand what it is that you're dealing with if a customer or a patient can't verbalize what it is that's wrong with them. It's the same thing like in the education system. So when we talk about healthcare, we should look at it like the education system. Like you enter at the lowest level and your teacher is not the final boss. Your principal is not the final boss. The county, whatever it is, that's not your final boss. The Secretary of Education for your state is not the final boss, right? If we look at the healthcare system in the United States, we have to look at it as if it's something that needs to be reformed, but at the same time, hospitals, the healthcare system is a business. It's the reason why when you walk in, you got to pay. It's the reason why you walk in with an insurance card, because they want to know if you have the ability to pay or not. And if you don't have the ability to pay in cash right on the spot, if you don't have the ability to pay right on the spot, cash money, or swipe the card, you're going to be treated as if somebody that needs to be processed. Now, should that change? Probably. But here's my question to Corey Lee. Lee, would you be okay paying an extra $150 a month in taxes to healthcare just so that the entire country can have free healthcare?
Oh yeah, without question.
Okay. Rome, would you be okay paying an extra $150 a month out of, or $150 out of each of your paychecks on a monthly basis? Every time you get paid, would you be okay with $150 coming out of your check so that the country can have free healthcare? I'm asking the same thing for Knicks for Life. Would you be okay with every time you get paid, you have to pay $150 on top of what you're already paying so that everybody in the country could have free healthcare? Are you okay with that? And so my other question to Lee is, Lee, if you're talking about healthcare here versus everywhere else, what area of improvement are you looking to improve?
I mean, like what, outside of healthcare or just?
Rome says, will that take my health insurance payment away because I pay more than that? No, it's in addition to what you already pay. So if you pay $300 a month or $300 every time you get paid, you be paying $450, $500. Like, so say for instance, for me, I'd be paying about $1,000 a month for everyone in the country to have free health care.
I'm sorry about that freeze. I don't know what happened, but
Okay.
you were saying you talking about just in healthcare alone. That was your
No,
that's what.
no, that's not what I said. I said in addition to what you already pay.
Mm. Yeah, I'll be willing. I'll be more than willing to pay that,
Okay.
knowing that God forbid if I had a heart attack or a stroke, or if I wasn't a part of the top 3%, you know what I'm saying, 1%, that I know that I could go in here and and see a competent doctor, knowing that the chances of me coming out of this would be if I had $1 million. I would have that confidence. You know, I mean, anytime you want a surgery or you having a procedure done, it's always fit. You know what I'm saying? It's always in God's hands. Period. No matter what.
Right. So that was a trick question, right? Because here's the
Mhm.
thing: if you pay more, it can't be free.
I understand.
So if you pay more in taxes, right, then it can't
Mhm.
be free, right?
Mhm.
That's why I asked the question, because the thing is in order for you to have free in order for you to have free healthcare, you have to ask yourself who's going to fund it.
The government. Why the hell? Why the hell can't the government provide that? But see, but I get it because this is a this country is built on capitalism. We have to figure out, what I'm saying, the have and people have to feel like they need to be due compensated for what they provide. And then we don't as the civilian, or not even that, the non-corporate person, we don't have the ability to 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 gauge how much is that worth. You know.
I think it comes down to what we feel like is important. I'm okay. I'm okay paying for. I'm okay paying medical bills. I've been paying the last the last 4 years, man. I've been paying a bunch of man. Man, okay. So as a side, I pay about $1,900 a month for medical bills, right?
Mhm.
For a bunch of stuff, right? Can't help it, man. I racked up medical bills, things of that sort. I got the medical treatment.
Mhm.
And so instead of dragging this thing out over a million bajillion years, I decided to, hey man, $1,900 a month is what I can afford, so I'll pay that every month.
Mhm.
Right now, does that mean I can't go to Nick games like I want to? Does it mean that I can't buy the new fancy car that I want? You know, does it
Mhm.
mean I can't go to Georgia and visit Corey Lee like I want all the time? Even though I like Lee, I gotta pick the red pill or the blue pill. I gotta pay these medical bills just in case something happens again.
Mhm.
Ala Wise is in the building. So to your healthcare thing, I think it's about what is that you value, right? Like for instance, for me, I would say I like to have a balance. I would rather people under the age of 18 have their medical stuff be free.
Mhm.
If you're 18 and under, all your medical stuff is free. If you're working age 19 through 65, you can pay for your stuff. But once you hit that age of 65 and up, your medical stuff should be free. Medication, all of that. Right? Because in theory, you worked 46 years?
50.
47 years you worked?
Mm-hmm.
If you paid taxes into a system for 47 years, at some point you should start getting your return on investment. Especially, and this is one of the things that I have a gripe with, especially if you're a veteran military, right? If you serve 3 or 4 years in the military, if you served your country 3 years and up, 4 years and up, I don't know, 6 years and up, I don't care if you're healthy or not, your health care should be free. Right? Like what else is there for you to give? Right? You pay taxes for 47 years as a worker. Man, you pay taxes as a soldier. Lee, think about that. You pay when you were a soldier, you were paying taxes, right?
Oh yeah.
As a soldier, you paid taxes and did it
Mm-hmm.
proudly, and wasn't complaining about paying taxes. You don't miss what you don't see, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't contribute, then that's where I draw my line.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Freeze. You are so correct. Listen. I mean, listen. And let me, for everybody who has not served, I'm gonna break this down to you, and this is just my opinion. This is just my thoughts. You know, I feel like if you live in this country, and considering that our armed forces are all voluntary now for the last 40 years, 45 years,
Yeah.
voluntary.
It's been over 50 years post Vietnam. Yeah.
Post Vietnam,
yeah.
50 years, everything's voluntary. I feel like, listen, you know, in order to have, what I'm saying, if you want to have a voice, you need to find some way to serve your country, to let them know that you're a part of it. Some form of selective service. It doesn't have to be the U.S. Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Marine. It could be the Peace Corps. You know what I'm saying? It could be the UN. You know what I'm saying?
It could be the post office.
It could be whatever it is. But you provide some service for your country, you know what I'm saying, because you're a part of it. Because, we stand on shoulders, excuse me, not soldiers.
On the
But
shoulder of soldiers.
exactly, of people who fought and died or who have suffered after, because after the war, soldiers still suffer. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be physically or mentally, because of the things we have to do to give you the key word, freedom.
And liberty. Yep. The liberty to
Exactly.
do and freedom. Right.
And liberty. Listen, for those of you who don't believe in that and you feel like, well, I'm just a citizen and I deserve this, then that's when I'll be like, yo, you need to come out of pocket.
Okay. So that's the system that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to talk about though is why we vote the way that we vote, and what do we get by picking one person over another or one party over another. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I watched Joe Biden on TV the past few days, or the last week or so. And Joe Biden looks to me like a weak, feeble old man in over his head. Now, am I saying that's what the Democratic Party looks like? No. But he is one of the leaders of the Democratic Party.
He is the leader. But go ahead.
Yeah, boss.
No, I'm saying he is the leader of the Democratic Party just off the strength of because he's the one chosen by the Democrats to represent their 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 concerns or issues, you know, and I've grown as I've gotten older, and when you get older, you gain wisdom. Hopefully, you know, when it comes down to politics and voting, it seems like nowadays it's the lesser of two evils. Whereas, back in the days, in the 20s, or even right, what I'm saying, post Civil War, there was just more than two parties, you know, and and they all had something to say, and you didn't know who could win. And this two party system, I feel like it, 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 it- it's ruined this country the last 60 years, 70 years.
But the question is, what have Democrats done for you? That's the question.
I mean, what have they done other than the fact that what's the word I'm trying to think of? For me, supposedly, affirmative action. you know,
Well, hey, well, let me ask it in this way. I'll break it down into pieces just for the sake that so the conversation can be clear.
hmm
Do you All right, let's assume Corey Lee lives in around a major metropolitan area. We'll assume that. You don't have to say where you are,
hmm
right? But say you live in a major metropolitan area.
hmm
Do you feel safer now than you did before? Than you did years before.
I feel like my quality of life has gotten somewhat better. Not a lot, but somewhat better. It's improved from my perspective.
Okay. Do you feel safe?
I mean, safe is a state of mind. So I mean, I have no worries outside of the typical the everyday work that what everybody would have. But I don't feel like I'm scared to do anything. Like I'm not scared to get up in the morning. I'm not scared to go to the store. I'm not scared to go to my mailbox.
What
You
about
know,
what about your do you feel like your family is safe? Do you feel like you can
yes,
send your the females in your family out and about and they'll be safe? Do you feel like you can um
yes,
okay. Okay.
yes.
All right. So here's my thing. I don't.
Mm,
I don't feel that way. Right? I don't feel like if I send Miss Mocha out somewhere that there is no threat of an active shooter.
mm,
Now is that a major thing in my mind? Am I thinking active pew pew? You know what I'm saying all the time? No,
mhm,
but about once a month, our TV is inundated with active pew pew guy. Seems like right,
mhm,
and in that pew pew activity, it always seems like the most vulnerable group is the one that's targeted.
mm.
People at church that are lilies in the valley. They legit are lilies. I'm a lily in the valley. Y'all heard
Mhm,
if you ever been to church, you heard that song before,
mhm,
right? The lilies in the valley are the ones that's targeted. Little children are targeted. People in nightclubs, right? You know how when you go into a nightclub, they check you to ensure that you don't have weapons, right? So in theory, you're a sitting duck for some deranged guy. So do I feel super safe? No. Do I feel like I can handle myself in a strange situation? Absolutely. Because I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Ivory 10 in a place to be. Salute. Ivory 10. Ivory 10 is over here. Just salute Ivory 10. So do I feel our communities are safe? No. Right? Because that I mentioned about the active pew pew guy, that the random occurrence once a month in the country. No, I don't. Right. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't feel like our streets are safe because there are people on these streets that are in certain activities. Right. And they'll group together where there's some type of mob or gang or whatever it is. I don't feel safe all the time in that environment. Not that it intimidates me, right? Not that it scares me, because it don't. But the missus go out for a loaf of bread, and you see a bunch of people together, and they look to intimidate and all that stuff, and all the missus want is a loaf of bread. To me, I don't feel safe, and she doesn't feel safe in that environment also. So basically what I'm saying, like in major cities you have, and even small cities, you have gangs. Man, listen, and man, listen, there are certain places, Chicago is ridiculous. New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, Philadelphia, Miami, Orlando, Boston, Detroit, all these major cities, they're flooded with guns and all of these type things with people, and you really don't feel safe. Now, is this a new thing? No. So if you're 40 and what I just said offended you, if you're 40 and under and this thing just offended you, don't be offended. This has been going on since I'm in my 50s, and it's been going on even back then. When gangs used to walk down the street with baseball bats, and they would just randomly jump on anybody. They used to have, you remember the dog chains? Remember the gangs used to walk around with the dog chains with the lock on it?
Oh yeah,
wrapping around their fists, and they'll be punching people with it. You know, so it's been that for a long time. Just don't feel safe, right? So, am I fear mongering? No, I'm telling you my truth as I see it. I don't know if we feel safe, right? And I know that sounds disrespectful to some and may sound right up somebody else's alley, but this is a political conversation where everything that's said, somebody is going to be on one side or the other.
But Freezy, listen, for all those areas that you were just talking about, this is where there's disparages in education and jobs. You know, education and jobs are big. You know, if half these people were working and feeling like they were capable of taking care of their families, if they were educated enough to know that they're going left instead of going right, then it would some of these they wouldn't feel so marginalized, you know. And also too, and I'm tell you something. Gang membership does not have no color. because there's other types of gangs out here.
I never said that though.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you did. I'm putting that out there.
Okay.
I'm putting that out there. People, poor people, no matter what color they are, and they're out here just trying to have just the basics: a house, car, job, and be able to take care of their kids, and then help provide them, their kids, with something a little bit more than what they had in this world. You know, they want to feel included and inclusive in this country, and that's been the problem. You know,
Yeah, I think you came in for a soft landing on that one, bro.
nah, I didn't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's my opinion is this. When people feel like they don't have repercussions for doing something bad, they just gonna keep pushing the line until there's a repercussion,
Of course,
right?
anybody, anywhere.
And so when you have that, like say for instance, I'll use a city that I know, like I have a little bit of experience with, not much.
Mm-hmm.
My homeboy is from Dallas, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he, when I met him in 1980, I met him in 1988, right? He was this thing. He was a part of a gang. He was a Crip,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and mind you, coming out of New Jersey and South Carolina, I only heard about Bloods and Crips on TV, right? And I still don't have much experience with that.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't have much experience with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you follow one or the other, don't feel like I'm being disrespectful to you as a person. I'm not. I'm speaking from a person that doesn't have experience with it, right? So it's not. I'm not pushing something one way or the other, right? But what I'm saying is what he told me is that he was indoctrinated into it when he was about 8 years old. When he was about 8, they had been bringing him along and along and along and along and along until the point where he got old enough to be, to do stuff for the gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff he told me, I couldn't believe that you would ask an 11-year-old boy to do that stuff. Like I couldn't believe you would ask somebody 14 to go across town and pew pew at people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what he was asked to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I met him in 1988, might have been late 87, early 88, somewhere around there. It was wintertime when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
This dude's bigger than me. This dude's about 6'7". When I met him, he's about 6'7", about 225, about 225, something like that. Huge human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was about 6'5", about 168, I was probably about 175, 6'5", about 175, something like that. Whatever. We were all in great shape back then. You're in the military. You're in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
What he told me was that was a way of life. It had nothing to do with him not being able to find a job at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. It was the neighborhood he was in. He was indoctrinated in it because of where he lived and where he came from. Now, I understand that some people resort to crime if they can't find another way out. And then there are others that see the easy way and take it. There's a difference, right? Not being able to find a way and seeing an easy way are two different things. And what I'm saying to that is still don't make the community as a whole feel safe. And Rome
Mm.
says, if you look at the numbers, the 90s were worse than now, right? And here's the thing. Here's the thing about the 90s. Bill Clinton was president for the majority of the 90s, a Democrat.
Mm.
Joe Biden helped write the three strikes crime bill that helped
Mhm.
separate family members. Joe Biden's a Democrat. He apologized for it about 4 or 5 years ago. He didn't know. He was going based off of information that he had. He thought he was doing the right thing, and it wound up being a detriment to the kids that are out here today. To all you 30, 35-year-olds that are out here right now. Ivory 10 says facts. Yeah. What I'm saying is do you feel safe? I don't feel safe because listen, one of the things that we should put on this list that we have here, Corey Lee, one of these things that we should have on this list is this. And it should be this, right? But we rarely talk about this. We rarely talk about, I'm sorry, y'all, my bad. We rarely talk about this because we feel like we can't win that fight. We can't win that fight. We don't talk about gun control.
Of course.
Because we don't feel like we can win it.
I mean, how do you figure winning? What's winning gun control?
Huh?
What's winning gun control?
Man, Lee, first of all, you're a soldier, so you already know about weapons and all that stuff.
Of course, I know that, but
you know if the United States passes a national law when everybody has to turn in their guns, right? If everybody has to turn in all their guns, crimes on the street will be happening with knives. Right? And if you get everybody to turn in their knives, then people will be on the streets with bow and arrows. Right? The thing is, people that want to do violent acts are going to find something to do violent acts with.
That's why I asked the question of gun control. I mean, unfortunately, that has been the hardest thing for this country to do because why? We already got the First Amendment, and what's the Second Amendment?
I'm going to look it up for you.
You already know what it is: the right to bear arms, to be able to defend yourself at any given moment. What the problem is when it comes to guns is that we have too many people who are out here. First of all, remember what you said earlier. Every time there's a Republican in office, somehow we end up in a conflict. And I'm gonna try to make this quick. We end up in a conflict, and it's these super rich corporations who have defense contracts who seem to come out with the biggest, richest paydays, i.e., during the last Gulf War, companies like Halliburton and all these other little countries, these private security, you know what I'm saying, and defense companies that are out here, and then they still got to keep trying to turn a profit because they have shareholders. So guns are going to fall to the wayside and it gets overlooked because the serial numbers should track back to somebody to the company that whom is made for, but they're never held responsible.
So that was the thing I was going to mention about gun control, right? So Nix will be champs in 25 says or asks, how do you control guns? Well, how you control guns for one is by having a gun owner be responsible. The person that attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump had a borrowed gun. He had a borrowed gun. The weapon he used belonged to his father. Allegedly. That's what I heard in the news. Allegedly, it was owned by another person. Right? So how do you control guns? By making the owner of the weapon responsible for what happens with that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I don't care if you reported it stolen. I don't care if you did whatever. If something happens with that weapon, it's your fault. If that person the person that used it gets 25 years, you get 25 years. Right. And I know it's like, no, that's not right. How do you do that? Bro, if you let somebody borrow your car and something happens, you are responsible because you let them borrow your car. But if somebody sneaks and gets your gun out of an unlocked cabinet and does something, nothing happens. Oh, he just took it out of the cabinet, man. I didn't even know it was missing until just now. Oh, well, you got 25 to life just like him.
Yeah, because why? Because you're irresponsible, and then that person knows where you place that weapon, and then you don't have a lock on that weapon.
These are the type things. These are the type things I'm saying. I'm talking about anybody with a emotional disorder, whether it's temporary or permanent.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an emotional disorder, whether it's emotional or permanent, right? You should not be able to go grab something and attempt to take the life of another person. And I know that sounds wild and crazy, but in the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, an innocent bystander was taken out.
Mm-hmm.
He was just there to support his guy. Think about that, Lee. You and I go to so I think Corey Lee's favorite music artist is probably Lil Nas X. Say Corey Lee puts on all his Lil Nas X apparel and goes to a Lil Nas X concert, right? And then something happens and Lee is hurt. And all he wanted to do was go watch Lil Nas X in some tassels and cowboy boots to perform Old Town Road. People legit, the reason why I say I don't feel safe is that a man, former President Donald Trump, with a staff, damn near an army of Secret Service operatives around him, is still not safe. So just imagine Corey Lee at his Lil Nas X concert. These are the type things that I'm referencing. Like, do you feel safe? Is Uncle Freezy fear mongering? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. These type things are a reality for us now. This is the world we live in now. Right? Where we are becoming numb to major catastrophes in the United States. We're becoming numb to it. Like the Oklahoma City bombing in 95. We're becoming numb to those types of events. We're becoming numb to the Olympic bombing in Atlanta, Georgia. We're becoming numb to those types of events. We're becoming numb to the David Koresh type thing. We're becoming numb to it because they're starting to happen more and more frequently because the Second Amendment says that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment, as we know it, the part that applies to this conversation. A well-armed militia.
Okay.
These are the types of things when I mention, do you feel safe as an American citizen? Here's the other thing, Lee. Here's the other thing. If for those that say they feel safe, I know that's not totally true.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
This is how I know this is not totally true, right? Say 3 black men in a car coming from a good time, riding down the road, loud, laughing, joking, and then all of a sudden you see the blue lights out of nowhere in the back of the car, and the car being lit up.
Mm-hmm.
As a black man, do you feel safe?
No. At all.
In that situation, you feel vulnerable because you know any quick movement can get everybody in that car shot up.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon 26. I'm just going to ask you this, and I'm not assuming that anything with anybody. I'm asking the question, right? When the blue light comes on your car and you're with like 2 or 3 of your homeboys, y'all coming off a good time. Maybe one of your friends pushed it to the edge. Maybe he had too many drinks. Maybe one of your friends has too many drinks, and then he in the car wilding out with you. Yo, what they put the blue light on us for? We ain't did nothing. He in the car drinking, maybe, or was drinking before you put him in the car, and he wilding out, and the blue light is on you, and then you see the officer, regardless of race. I'm not putting a race on the officer that's approaching the car, right? Or sex, whoever it is. Your car rocking because you got somebody in the back seat wilding out. Why they pull us over? Do you feel safe? And I'm not fear mongering. I'm asking you, these are things that actually occur. Maybe you've been in a situation like this. Maybe you've been in that situation multiple times. Or maybe you have not, and the thought of it has you maybe not feeling as safe in that moment as you thought you would feel. Ivory 10 says, I swear this all goes back to the money being broken. When you have to work 10% harder to have the same thing as the year prior, eventually you say no. I want to get to that too. Ivory, if I want to have that conversation with Ivory, but I don't want to speak to it per se because I'm not an expert on that. Mm-hmm. I'm not an expert on markets and finances. I'm working on that, but I'm not an expert. So whenever Ivory 10 get a chance, bro, we'll have a conversation about that, or maybe Ivory can put it in the chat. Alawa says, instead of being arrested, both ran for president. Hell no, I don't feel safe. Right. That's what I was asking Lee. Like when Lee said he feels safe, I knew that wasn't completely true. Because I don't know if you can, and I'm not calling Lee a liar. What I'm saying is I don't know if he thought out. Maybe I didn't frame the question appropriately. Right, Lee? How do you feel? Okay, Lee. How do you feel as a black man? Say your car broke down and you had to walk through, say 2 neighborhoods to get to your house. Do you feel safe walking through? Maybe the walk is 2.5 miles. Maybe it's cold out. Maybe you have a hat on,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a hoodie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel safe in those moments? Maybe you got gloves on.
I mean, I don't mean, I guess I'm different, or I'm not saying different. I mean, are those concerns? Yes, but I don't bow down to fears and concerns because I have a mission, and and I'm fortunate that the military has put that in my mindset. Now, am I looking? Do I keep my head on the swivel? Do I mind my P's and Q's? Do I stay in the light? You know, I do certain things that I feel like will not make me feel like I'm putting myself in harm's way.
Are
You
you
know,
are you a big monarch? Like, are you a big guy?
no, I'm an average man, 5'11" maybe.
So
You know,
the average man in the United States is 5'8", 150.
okay, well I'm above that.
You, so you're not 5'8", 150. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Are you in the twos?
Yes,
You don't have to tell me. I don't care if it's 201 or 299. If
yeah,
you in the twos, okay. So
yeah.
you're a big man. Are
Hmm.
you over 5'10"? Because 5'10" is considered to be extra tall in the United States.
Yes.
So you're a big man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when people see you, they think you're a big minority man.
Of course, yeah. And I've lived with that for most of my life.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. The safe thing, I think I think confusing safe and courageous are two different things.
Mm.
Right? Because being courageous and being brave is one thing. Being safe from harm is something different.
Hmm.
Ivory says, "Where are you going with this?" Yeah, the safe thing is it's a safety thing. It's not. I don't want to. I'm not fear mongering. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to feel safe. But do you feel safe right now when you take everything into account? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. And Nixon 26 says, "I'm 6'1", 245, trained in martial arts and registered to carry. Safety has never been distant from me." Right. No, I got you. I understand where you're coming from. Right. I understand where you're coming from. I like to think that I'm nice off the hands. I'm nice with these things, right? I feel like I'm nice with these things, right?
Hmm.
Right. I feel like I cross T's and dot I's with these things, right? That even at my age, I still feel like I'm that, right? Like I'm legit will cross T's and dot I's, right? But my thing is I don't want to get there, right? I don't want to be treated. I don't want to be treated as the Green Mile
Mm.
for those that have seen the Green Mile. I don't want to be that. I just want to be treated like an American with all the freedoms and liberties that come with for somebody that's a contributor to society. That's what I want to be treated as. I want the playing field to be level, right? Like if Ivory 10 and I are on the same sales team, I want to be confident that me and Ivory have the same chance at success as others that are on that same sales team. No private meetings, no they go out they go to Applebee's for drinks after work and Ivory 10 and I are left in the office. None of that. I want it to be a level playing ground. Let the best man win. And Ivory says the problem is that big people are immediately intimidated, extra force. Maybe that's but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, Ivory, is size doesn't matter, bro. It's about intent. There's some big softies out there now. And there are some little guys out there on the streets right now. And I used to work in the penal system. There are little guys out there right now that are violent, bro. It's about intent. It's about people's intentions in my mind. But you don't know that when you see people. You don't know people's intentions. You don't know people's intentions. Right. Yeah. You don't know people's intention, man, because evil and bad intentions come in all shapes and sizes.
And races, colors, and creeds.
Yeah, man. Nixon 26. I didn't know you were in Cali. Okay, salute.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up right there. Learn something new every day. If I don't learn anything else from this live stream, the fact that I learned Nixon 26 is from, I'm sorry, Nixon 25. Nixon 25 is from California, the great state of California. And the one thing I know about the great state of California is that they know how to party. So two things: it never rains in Southern California, and California knows how to party. That's what I know, based on from the great American poet Tupac Shakur said, California knows how to party.
All right, so California love too.
Yeah.
Freezy, I understand what you're saying, and I know you're not fear mongering, but it just seems like in life, it's just like me in general. I cannot just walk around this earth. Like, I keep my head on a swivel, but I don't sit here and all right, for an example, me and my wife, we constantly have this conversation, this debate. Did you see what's on the news today? Such and such has happened. With these people got shot over here, just walking around, or going over here doing X, Y, Z, or yada yada this, or yada yada that. I said, so all right. So what, we're gonna stop living? We're gonna stop moving? You can't. You pay attention to your surroundings. You try to keep yourself as secure as possible, and you avoid anything dangerous at all costs.
Right. Lee, but you know what's missed there?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the things that I'm learning too.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women think about things differently, man.
Of course.
Men and women think about things differently. Like, I remember when Mo and I first got together, when we first made it official. After I stopped being a dummy and finally made it official with Mo, right?
Mm-hmm.
She waited on me because she knew I had potential.
Mm-hmm.
She waited on me, right? I was thinking I was somebody. I really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But she waited on me to grow up a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to turn her into G.I. Jane because she's a veteran also, right? She's a veteran also. She nice with them things, and she, you know what I'm saying? But she don't want to be that. She was trained to be that. That was her job, right? But once she met somebody, she depends on me to be that, right? Man, the dog's barking. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna go see what it is. When the dog's barking, she don't want to get up and go see why the dog's barking.
Mm-hmm. That's your
right?
job.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my job. The dog's barking. Let me see why these dogs out here barking. Right? Dogs out here losing their mind. Let me go. It's a raccoon trying to get in our trash can. Okay, all right, man. Ain't nothing.
Possum, something stupid.
Yeah, something crazy. Right? Yeah, she don't want to be responsible for that. That's why when she and I have those conversations, I listen.
Oh, I do too. Now, granted, I get it, but I have, you know what I'm saying. But also too, you can't, you be prepared for. It's like, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. All right. So I said all of that. I said all of that to say this about where we are politically in this politically charged climate, right? What has a Democrat done for you that makes you think if you vote for a Democrat and in November that things will change?
I ain't gonna lie to you. Since I voted for Obama, I've realized that
The housing market crash.
yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I ain't talking about just the housing market. I'm just talking about anything. No matter who's in charge, bad stuff happens all the time. And if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And at the end of the day, none of them, none of them are prepared. None of them, you know, to deal with the issue.
Right. Here's another thing that I want to ask you about safety. When former President Donald Trump took over, there was a global epidemic,
Hmm.
and basically he did nothing. Basically
He threw money at it.
he did nothing. Basically he did nothing. Oh, Nixon 26. Here we go. Democrats haven't done a thing for us. They continue to lean on the black vote, and we do it, and we get nothing in return.
Hmm.
Think about and Nixon 26. This is what I'm gonna. This is how I. Okay, I'm gonna point out one thing that frustrates me beyond belief. Our kids get trapped in stuff like credit card debt and student loans. Like legit, our kids, and I'm going to say everybody's kids, right? Everybody's kids. They want to go to college. They want to go to these prestigious colleges and things of that sort. They want to have a better life for themselves. But what they don't know is everything that's free is not free.
Hmm.
The bill that some of our kids leave college with is ridiculous. The student loan that some of it is like $200,000. You get your diploma, you get the paper, but maybe you have $200,000 in student loan debt and $40,000 in credit card debt. And so you're basically in debt about $250,000 before you step out into corporate America and get a job that's going to pay you $30,000 in the first year.
If that. Give me a second, Freezy.
So basically, you're in a mortgage, right? Basically, you leave college with a mortgage, basically. And Democrats know this. And they tried to address it. Joe Biden tried to give people student loan debt relief, but it didn't work. Republicans don't like it. They like, you racked up the bill, you pay it. Right? And what I'll say to that is, yes, you racked up the bill. Yes, you should probably pay it. But in fairness to the kids, you got them at 18. You were predatory. You were predatory. You told the kids, listen, you don't have to get the student loan. you could always go back to your mom and daddy house. You don't have to take out this student loan. You can always go back to that room at your mom and dad's house and try to work your way through school. But for kids that experience freedom for the first time, do you want to go back to your mom and dad's house and then go to such and such community college where you can pay your way along and along? No. So you were preyed upon. And then when you finally graduate in your 4.5, 5 years, you leave that institution with $250,000 in debt. And sure, you can defer your payments, but the interest is still rolling. And then 3 years later, you mess around and start your family. You start your family with student loan debt. You start your family with student loan debt. And some of y'all in the chat and some of y'all that are watch this understand the student loan struggle, the credit card struggle. Some of y'all understand that. What I would suggest to that is student loan forgiveness. You were preyed upon when you were 18. You didn't understand finances. You didn't have a financial coach. You were desperate. You were trapped. And now with that college education, you couldn't afford to live the American dream like the way you thought you were going to live it. And now you're in a situation where you can't afford to pay a monthly payment of $892 a month because your rent, notice I said rent because you probably can't buy because your credit's not good enough to buy a home because you have credit cards and student loan debt. And you were trapped when you were 18. Nixon 25 says, one of my closest friends is a doctor. He graduated from college in 2004. He just paid off his student loans in 2022. That man had to work as a doctor for 18 years in order to pay off his student loan debt. And Ivory 10 says, and because the cost of a home has tripled in 20 years. Yeah, that I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, though. Because my property has tripled in that time, and that's a good thing for me in case I feel like selling. You buy it. I think we bought a property one time. We bought a no lie, Ivory 10. We bought a fixer upper for like $78,000, and it's like 5 times that now, worth that now. But of course, we put some TLC in it. For me, it's not a horrible thing, bro. To me, it's a great thing because it's paid off. So we paid it off, and now I can just get return out of it. But if you're talking about going into a mortgage where you're going to pay 30 years, I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're talking about. The student loan thing is for real. That's another one of those things where I feel like we address a lot of stuff politically, but I'm talking about practical stuff. I'm talking about practical stuff. Student loans, healthcare. Are you safe, home and abroad? How far does your dollar stretch? For some of us in this chat, we may make 150 times more than our parents made. But we have access to less stuff than our parents had access to. Like if your parents made $30,000 a year, or one of your parents made $30,000 a year, and say you make 80, 90, $100,000 a year. You make more than your parents made, but does your dollar go as far as it did when your parents were younger? Ivory 10 says, what people don't realize is that the cost of things won't go down regardless of who you vote for. Ivory 10, that's one of the things I'm talking about with impact. Corey Lee, you back? No? Corey Lee ain't back. So if things aren't going to change, why do you vote the same way every time? Why do you go to the ballot and just pull one ticket all the way down?
I don't. Not anymore, I should say. Let me keep it a buck. Because there's certain issues and concerns. Because like this Project 2025, for an example, like people aren't aware of what that is, and then by the time they get aware of it, they already voted for it, or it's been passed, or our politicians, the people who we voted for, didn't even know what it was themselves that they were pushing, the agenda.
Right. Hey, Nixon 25. I really like the way that Nixon 25 communicates. I really like the way you communicate your points. Ivory 10 says, because one party doesn't believe you should have the same opportunity that their kids do. Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I think there are extremes on both sides. Like one political party feels like on their at an extreme, and I'm going to get back to Corey Lee's point, man. I want to talk about what he just mentioned, but one side is going to throw stuff at you like religion and Constitution and God. They're gonna say God, family, country, and all these things, and then they don't believe it. And then on the other extreme, there are people that get government assistance all day long. That's all they look for is more and more and more. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to contribute. They won't even sweep off the street in front of their house. All they care about is EBT and welfare and food stamps and public assistance. They live for free. They eat for free. Everything is for free. They don't contribute nothing to anything except whack TikTok videos. And so you have that one extreme that doesn't want to do anything. And then you have the other extreme that's obsessed with power. Right? Obsessed with power. I mean, obsessed with it. Right? The more power you give them, the more power they want. And then you have an extreme in the other direction at the other end of the spectrum where they don't care if Mickey Mouse was president. As long as their public assistance ain't interrupted, they don't care. They're apathetic. They'll do stuff like do 50 cent. They'll do things like 50 cent memes on TikTok. Right? They'll do things like have Donald Trump 50 cent memes, like otherwise I saw the Donald Trump mini men thing on TikTok, and people thought that was fire. They're like, yo, Donald Trump is like 50 cent. Many men wish death upon me. You're like, yo, you doing that, bro? Really? That's your contribution?
What's good, Corey Lee? What up?
Salute, my brother.
Salute.
The Saint. I've been calling this dude the Saint, right? The reason why I call him the Saint is that what people don't realize is that all a saint is a sinner that fell down a lot of times and got up and dust himself off and started doing the right thing, helping himself and others. And that's why I call Alawaz that, right? I don't call him that because he's perfect. I call him that because, like many of us, he made a mistake or two in his past. Me, I have made more mistakes than him, right? I made way more mistakes than him. But at least he was smart enough to know that he should take the things that he learned and share them with others and try to help others be better, including yours truly. So I appreciate it and love him for that.
Well, yo, I jumped on because I don't know where y'all at in the conversation right now, but when I was listening, I heard basically I was talking about like equality and safety in the community first. And
Right.
I don't know if you remember, I was like, it's really hard to find racial equality in this country. And the reason I was saying that is because, like, from a business standpoint, when you look at the Constitution, even the Bill of Rights, it excludes us from the framework. And when we are mentioned, like you see things in the Constitution, like we the people, but we're not represented in those people. They was trying to create a democracy, but at the same time, they had slaves.
Yeah.
So when you look at us in the Constitution, we're uh, basically spoken of as property. So now you want the property to have the same value as the master or the same equality. It's not in the framework. Even if they wanted to give it to you, in order for them to give that to you, they would basically have to kill themselves. I mean, when you take it to the extreme point of it, I mean, it's really no money or nothing that they could give you. So what other way could they show equality? Besides that, I mean, we don't really own that much in this country. So we're always going to be the consumers here. It's like that for a reason. So that's where it really has to start. It's not like when I say I don't feel safe, it's not because I worried about being outside in the street. Like Corey Lee said, like we don't walk around like that. But at the same time, it's the frame of mind that we in. Like we let a lot of things go that we see because we live in our life to the fullest, the best we could based on where we're at in it. But do I feel safe knowing that how people think out here and the way things are being put in our face and done to us in our face at the same time? Nah, I don't feel safe.
Right. 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 But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The thing that I'm getting at is this. I'm not asking you to walk around and feel like a duck. Right. I'm not telling you to be a duck. Right. What I'm saying is if you are a man of a certain maturity, you understand that your safety is paramount because others depend on you.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. That's
Right.
exactly the way I took it. I didn't like. I remember I heard one of the other guys in the chat said something about his stature, his size, or whatever, and it wasn't really meant to be like that. It wasn't about the physicality of it. It was about really the more uh the mindset of the person dealing with it as far as being safe, because safety is not being able to overpower somebody. Because if you could overpower me, I could just go get Uncle Freezy and get Corey Lee, and then we'll come back and overpower you.
Yeah, and we will definitely cross T's and dot I's. Right.
Exactly.
We will do that. But the thing is though, when I say safe though, what I mean is safe from law. Like what Ivory 10 just put in.
Yeah.
A group
Yeah.
of Republican state attorneys general on Thursday
Yeah.
warned the country's largest companies that certain workforce diversity policies could be illegal in light of the U.S. Supreme Court's decision.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm talking about by safety. You can go to your job and based on your race, you may be gone. If you were included because of diversity and the diversity thing is reversed.
Yep.
Now, how you gonna pay your bills?
That's why I came in leading off with the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. It's the framework of it's the framework of this country that's in question. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't feel safe, because I understand the framework.
Right.
It's not built for me. You see what I'm saying?
One of those things that I want to point out and add to the discussion is safe is not always physical safe.
Right.
That's what we think about when we think. But what about your emotional safety, your intellectual safety?
Right. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's safe in general. Right. That's what I'm saying to you. Like if for instance, there's this thing that I don't know if people notice, but in the military, there is a disproportionate amount of people in color entering into the military in low ranks that have to work their way up the ranks, right? But then when you look at the officers, there's a disproportionate number of other races that are in those positions, right? When you look at Major League Baseball, how many black men do you see playing baseball? 30 teams, right? There are 30 teams, and you might have 3 guys on each team that are black.
Well, I mean, you know, the Dominican brothers, they black.
Yeah. I like to say that, but some of our Puerto Rican brothers, some of our Dominican brothers, they remind me that they're not black.
Yeah, I know.
I joke with that, right? But
we gotta teach them though.
Yeah,
it's hard, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody got to do it
and teach them that there's nothing wrong with being black.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
The thing is, people don't know what being black is. It's not just like people think black is a color. It's not even a color.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things you got to learn about being black, and even learning what it means to be white. Because white ain't a color neither.
No. Ooh, no. White is the absolute absence of color. Right. So, but what I like to say to everybody that does the I go to the poll and vote Democrat all the way down, or for those that don't vote, they support the democratic process. Don't let the word democracy fool you into thinking that something is headed your way. Democracy doesn't mean something is headed your way, right? Like, don't think if I vote Democrat, then in February a stimulus check gonna come. Nah.
Let me add on something, because it's something y'all was touching on earlier, and it just came back to me for you. You said something about basically saying the same thing, how people vote Democrat and they think certain things are gonna come to them. But we gotta understand that if you want something to get done, you can't just vote. You gotta put money behind the people that you're voting for.
Right.
If there's no money behind the vote, they're gonna tell you they're gonna give you everything. But the people that's giving them money and supporting them for real, they're gonna get taken care of first, just like anything else. And this country is a business. When you realize it's a business, you understand, like, a favor is always gonna be a favor, but a contract is binding. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Are you telling me that the part that you feed is the part that grow? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be, but we've been supplanted.
Hey, bro, I'm here to tell you, bro, that and no disrespect to minorities, right? No disrespect to minorities. I'm not Tim Scott. I'm not a sellout buffoon like Tim Scott, right? Tim Scott is from my area. Every time I hear him talk, I'm like, he set minorities. Every time I hear him speak, all his actions, I think he set black people back. Every time he talked, he set black people back 17 days, right? Every time I hear Tim Scott talk, so here's my thing. Minorities, and especially black folks, we have to invest in our communities in order for us to get respected like other communities. The part that you feed is the part that grows, right? Like, for instance, if you are monetarily investing in what's her name? Not Ice Spice. What's the other red chick? The one with the tattoos on her face. Something red. Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
If you buying Sexy Red albums, if you investing in her monetarily and not investing in local, state, and federal politics, you may as well vote for Tim Scott. Because you are a part of the problem. And I understand everybody doesn't get into politics. Some people want to laugh and joke their way through life, right?
Yeah.
But as mature adults, you can laugh and joke all day if you want, but there are times where you have to be serious.
No Diddy.
Like the Republican National Convention. I don't know if y'all watched the Republican National Convention. They had Amber Rose at the Republican National Convention.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
You know what that tell me? What that tells me is that they needed somebody of color, but not too much. Not too much. Don't get up. No. Don't be black now. Don't be black. You can do all that coonery and buffoonery over there. We only need for you to come up here and be a sellout. And then once this thing is over, you can go back to
go ahead and do what you do.
Yeah. Right. Now,
don't forget, we giving you this opportunity.
Right. We're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay you well to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get bread. They're gonna give you back in the day, they used to call it paper. They gonna give you paper. And Mr. Alawa, sir, I know you're not old enough to understand what paper is.
Yeah,
right?
I know about that paper.
I know you not understand.
That guap. I know about it.
I know you don't. I know you don't. You're not old enough to know what guap is, right?
Yeah,
I understand
that loot.
Bread, loot, paper, guap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cheddar. You know what I'm saying? Ducats. You remember ducats?
Ducats.
Bro, I understand. Yo,
you remember this? Ghost notes. You better have them ghost notes.
For people that don't know what ghost notes is, it's a reference to the dead presidents that's on your money, right? Don't know.
You better have them ghost notes when I pull up.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody. But what I'm saying is, I at some point, every adult has to be serious about something. We can enjoy each other, have a good time, not take things so serious all the time. But at some point, you have to be serious about life. Life is a serious thing. Like, at some point, one false move will blow your groove. Lee, you remember that? One false move will blow your groove? No, Lee don't remember that. Lee in his 40s, he don't know.
Man, come on, man. You stupid. I remember that clearly.
One false move will blow your groove.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so we at some point, man, you got to buckle down and be a mature adult, because the decision you make may not affect you tomorrow, but it may be the decision that you make will affect your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And so you have to take these things seriously. Like, do I want a dictator as president? Do I want King Trump as president? Or do I want Sleepy Joe as president? Joe Biden, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Joe Biden hasn't done anything for me that has impacted me directly. Now, has he maybe stopped things from happening? I don't know because things never happened.
Yeah, he stopped a couple things, and Trump started a lot of things, but it ain't the first. It won't be the last. If you ask me, it don't really matter who you put in the office. Like I said, if you're not behind them, you don't have no say so. So you voting for who you like. That's all. But they don't know you. They don't really recognize you. They don't recognize your plight because you're not speaking to them in their language. Their language is dollars. You got to bring something to the table if you want to get heard. If you just coming with your votes, yeah, they want you to feel inclusive. Yeah, you part of the democracy. You got to be in it to win it. You want to see who you want to see. You got to vote. But every time when you vote, what is being affected? What in your household is getting helped out?
Right.
Nothing. Like nothing. It's like you just getting a new president, somebody else that say that they running the country, but nothing really is changing where you at. Regardless if it's Democrat or Republican.
Right. My fear is that wow, it's 11 o'clock. I didn't know it was that late. My fear is that on one side you'll get a king that's gonna ruin 200 years of infrastructure and maybe put us on a path that sets back race relations centuries. And the other guy, I think, is 1 foot on a banana peel and blah blah blah. The other day, he said former Trump. He said he didn't say former President Donald Trump. He said former Trump. He looked weak and tired. He looked like your grandpa that's trying to close down the family reunion at 7 o'clock. Like 7 o'clock in the evening during the summertime, the sun's still high up in the sky at 7 o'clock. And he's trying to turn that music. I gotta go to church in the morning. Like grandpa is like Papa Doc is legit 7 o'clock, bro, on a Saturday afternoon in the summertime. Why are you trying to shut down the family reunion? That's what he looked like. Now, are both of these guys backed by super smart people? Yes. My thing is, one guy won't listen to his super smart people, right? And the other guy is probably being propped up by the super smart people as a figurehead. I think Joe Biden is a figurehead for a super smart Democratic Party. He's just a figurehead. We just got him out here because we know he can win. It's too late. It's too late to ask Barack Obama to run. Right? It's too late to ask Michelle Obama to run. It's July, and it's too late to get these guys and gals out on the campaign trail. And the other guy is like, as soon as I win, I'm gonna undo everything this dude did the past 4 years. I'm gonna be the king of America.
I mean, but you don't think that it's like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, like they punch the clock, they go to war, then they punch the clock out, and then they go to the bar?
No,
I do.
I honestly believe if Joe Biden could get Donald Trump in a room by himself, I think Joe Biden would put hands on Donald Trump, bro.
I mean, but it's personal. They said they it's personal with them. But I'm saying at the parties as a whole. Like it ain't like they really got beef with each other.
I think the extreme sides on both sides have beef with each other.
So if that's the case, then you know this country is in trouble because it's being pulled in two totally different directions.
Right. Extremes.
That's why I mean we in trouble But I feel that at the head of things is one word, and both of them parties fall under that word. So whoever wins wins, but the word is gonna be the word that comes out of those people's mouth, regardless. It
Okay.
might be a little bit different.
Yo, yo, yo. Salute Alawa, salute Core, salute Freezy.
What's up, my man?
What's
Chilling,
good, bro?
chilling.
Peace.
I'm
Hey,
listening,
why do you want to
listening to the
finish your thought,
conversation.
bro?
Nah, I mean, they cut my mic for the great Dre to pop in.
For Dre, yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean? I ain't even mad at that intro. So I
Stat
don't
now,
remember actually where I was at, but I just know that I feel like it's really like I was saying, it's one word. Like it's one mindset for this country. Like it's two different points of views, but the outcome is one thing at the end of the day.
I would
That's the
love
way
for
I
you.
view
I
it.
would love for you to expound on that.
I mean, like, I feel like it's like you on that side, you got red. I'm on this side, I got blue. Everybody arguing about who's better, and they fighting to get to the blue. They fighting to get to the red. But when we go home, we chilling. We putting our money together. You see what I'm saying? So the fight makes us more money, regardless,
Okay.
and it keeps the people confused too.
Well, the reality that white people live in is a little bit different. The things that get put into offices and things that are legislated, it may not affect you directly for a decade or two, especially as an older person, but it will affect the people that come up behind you or your kids in the long run. Because if we're looking at it from the perspective of being a black person or a person of color, these things matter more to us because as far as the trickle down effect, we get hit hardest as a whole, as a group, from things that get legislated, to be absolutely honest. Now, granted, like white people, white people do have a lot of the control in the situation that you're speaking of. But like the group when you're talking about red versus blue, the things that they legislate don't necessarily affect them immediately, or it will never affect their children or their generation. But who's getting the crappy end of the stick? Usually the minorities are. And I'll be absolutely honest. And in this type of situation, it's basically about choosing a lesser of two evils. Like
I said that earlier.
it like
That's
honestly,
the same thing I'm saying though, Dre, because the lesser of two evils, right? But evil is evil regardless. However, that's why I'm saying the word is gonna be evil regardless. So it doesn't matter. And when you look at the framework of how this country is built, it doesn't have us in mind from the get go. So yes, of course, it is gonna affect us the worst.
you can't say it doesn't matter because lesser of two evils. There's a different level of hell you can get to,
Really?
regardless of how. Yes, like
I mean, bruh,
there are yes there are legitimately worse things than bad
that's
if that makes
that's
sense.
that. I mean, I feel you, right? But again, it depends on where your mind is at. You understand what I'm saying? If you a person that's caught up in certain things, if you don't have them things, you're gonna be in hell. You see what I'm saying? If you a person that had those things but could do without those things, it doesn't even affect you. So it is varying degrees. And like I was saying, I do agree with you because it does affect us the worst.
Yeah.
but it affects us the worst because that's the way it's built.
Would you would
This country is built like that.
eh, I, like for better or worse, the Democrats may try to attempt to give out lifelines to to the minorities or colored people, however you view it, to keep themselves in
That
power,
man said
right?
colored people.
Yeah, but the others, but to keep themselves in power. Granted, it's all about power, but I'd rather have a token lifeline than none at all. If that's
Nah,
how if
I
that's how it
respect
goes.
that because
Like
I know it's a
I'd
lot of
rather
people that feel like that.
even if it's done for reasons that are not the most pure or reasons to maintain power, hey man, some sort of lifeline is better than absolutely none.
I mean, like I said, it depends. It's how you feel. You see what
Yeah,
I mean? Like that's what it comes down to, and that's what they pulling at
I'll
on
be
purpose.
absolutely honest. I,
They doing that on purpose.
I don't want someone like Trump to be a representative of the country that I was born in and raised in.
I
Like
feel you.
I just don't want that to be a thing. Like
but
I'd rather
but
have
it happens though, bro.
it happen. It already happened.
Yeah, yeah, it already happened. Like it already happened 13 or 14 times. Right?
It
Oh,
happens all the
It's not
time.
just Donald Trump, man.
oh, no, no, no. It's
You had
not.
your
Not just
Calvin
on Trump.
Coolidges, you had your
Yeah,
Richard Nixons,
yeah.
you've had your Andrew Jacksons. You've had people like this before that feel like the power of the country rests in one office, and that's the president of the United States, where the president himself is just one third of the power structure,
And he
right?
has to fight through the other two.
Yeah, in order to prevent you from having a king. But what
But
happened
yeah,
is the president, this president has poisoned the well, so to speak, where the judicial branch is working in his favor. And if
He
we
got all the
allow,
judges' jobs.
yeah, he's got his judges in place so he can do whatever he wants, right? And then you also have the judicial, not judicial. What's the other branch? You know, I'm talking the other branch.
Executive,
No, executive is the president.
legislative,
Legislative, yeah, the legislative
legislative.
branch. Yeah, the legislative branch. They could fight all they want, but there are,
too many hurdles at that point.
yeah, yeah,
It's and it's kind of a shame because the Republican Party used to have this staunch idea of morality and we're going to be strict with how we feel, but they've bent the knee and cowered because power means more than anything. Unfortunately, they got Duke. Like Trump is hiring a guy that called him Hitler as his vice president.
yeah,
Like it don't even matter at this point how these political parties
yeah,
operate. Like like if you want to be real, at least the Democrats have maintained some sort of moral ground that they've said that they've been about for decades. Granted, they may not stick to it every single time, even though they should. But to do the polar opposite of whatever you're standing for is kind of ridiculous.
I
my
don't
It's
know.
experience,
absolute. It's
my
absolutely
experience,
ridiculous. And so, I
my
mean,
experience is different, bro. With
I
Democrats.
feel like Democrats before this last Trump era probably lied more about whatever they were going to do under the veil of it's going to be a positive thing for black people, whereas Republicans grossly don't even offer to care. Like it's like we just gonna do what we gonna do. You gonna pick up the crumbs if
Yeah,
there are any crumbs to
I'd rather
benefit.
you tell me you ain't gonna do nothing for me than lie to me.
And
That, but that's just
and
me.
and the Democrats are just like, we'll throw out all of these legislative things for you, and
Yeah,
about like 10% of them are gonna pass. But at least you got the 10%. Whereas the Republicans are like, you ain't getting nothing. If you do get something, cool. We ain't really putting out anything for you ever. We ain't gonna
yeah.
try either.
Yeah.
So this is like the battle of the lesser of two evils at this point.
Because I mean,
To
the
me,
10% that you saying that's made available is something that we need 80% of. So the
and you
10% that
getting
do get it, when
1%
they
on the
get
other
it,
side. Unfortunately, you getting one
I
percent.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
but that's what I'm saying. Every time when they give us that 10%, right? We need 80%. So when that 10% comes, what the other 70% gonna do to the people that got the 10%?
Right.
So
I
when they do that, it still creates inner problems again for us. That's why I'm saying it's like a setup either way.
I'll say this about the RNC. It was a pander-a-thon because they had about 5 or 6 black male politicians up there. Then they had Amber Rose. Then they had the Teamsters, and like they were trying to go all the way to get the working class and the black vote, or just to wean off a tiny percentage because that's all that Trump is looking for at this point.
Yeah, because it was a close election. Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you're talking about like they're going out their way to pander, and it's not even sincere because they're not even presenting anything that might help you. They just throwing out figureheads and faces. They got black dudes up there talking about America is not racist, and I'm just like, all right, man. I'm like, so you think I'm stupid?
Exactly. They'll
yeah.
tell you anything. They'll tell you anything.
That man went up there bold faced it and said America is not a racist nation, and was dead serious too, Fuzi.
Lil Wayne said that, bro.
Trump got Lil Wayne out of jail.
Oh
Yeah,
man, he
yeah,
got a lot of rappers out of jail.
yeah.
But
But
I'm saying, you see how it works?
You see how it works, and the thing that kind of annoys me, like I see some black people out there who's like, oh, Trump got 2 baby mamas, he's a felon, and he's this that, and like, oh, he might as well be black, and I'm just like, your idea of blackness is degeneracy. Like
yeah,
no man, you that shit pissed me off so much. I'm not gonna lie to you, Freezy. Like there's so much black excellence out here, and you choose to tie degeneracy as to what makes someone black or not. And I, it just bothers me.
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
it just
well,
bothers me.
that's one of the things that I mentioned. That's just real quick. That's one of the things I mentioned on Lawrence Tears a lot. Like everybody with a microphone shouldn't necessarily be talking. And when I say that at Nick's Universe, people get upset with that. They're like, "Man, who he think he is? Man, I can say what I want to say." And the point that I'm making is, you can say what you want to say. What I'm saying is, be responsible for the things that you say, not be responsible after the fact. Like, well, I don't care. It's freedom of speech. No, what I'm saying is research stuff before you talk. Right? Be responsible first, be responsible during, and be responsible after. If what you said was dangerous and you know it, be like, so what? I don't care. It don't matter, because no matter what happens, such and such is going to be the same anyway. Well, if you knew that, then why did you say something dangerous in the first place?
It,
Yep. Yep.
to get back to like the Amber Rose thing you were talking about earlier, that girl was that
Yo,
girl was
we
talking
can't get off
about
Amber Rose.
that girl was talking about Satanism and abortions literally like 3 or 4 months ago on a podcast,
Yep.
and now she is a Republican darling. Like this is how far that party has gone, like has fallen.
Doesn't that, when I saw it, doesn't that reinforce that conspiracy theory that there are industry plants out here?
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Most
then there's
definitely.
there's there's a lot of people that have no shame for a dollar.
Right.
That will do
I still
anything.
think they
No,
Trump
it's
is. Oh,
ridiculous.
my bad. My bad.
Go ahead, Allah. Go ahead. My
I
fault.
think Trump is still adapting his Obama and Puff Diddy no Diddy techniques from when they did Rock the Vote and all that. He's
Yeah.
just doing it in his way,
Yeah.
and people don't like it now.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Trump supporter, but I can recognize it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? He doing the
Game. You
same
recognize the
thing.
game.
He playing the same thing, just doing it like in the opposite direction.
Right. Right.
Hey, look, man,
And he's
I ain't
taking it
never
up
seen
a
I
notch.
ain't never
He's
seen a
taking it to
Demo.
a next level now.
Yeah, I was about to say I ain't seen no Democrats bring up somebody with a forehead tattoo.
Oh nah, he to the 10th power now.
Yeah, like it's a level of shamelessness. That's what it is. Like he don't even care, bro. It's like whatever gonna get me in this office, it don't matter, bro. I don't care. I really don't care.
Right. Right.
How the
And,
dude running for president is going to court for charges?
A felon,
bro.
an actual felon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where we are.
Hold
And
up.
and
I
so
got,
he's
I
Nah,
got, I
Larry,
got
I'm
one
not
even
gonna
better.
lie to you.
only a felon right now, right? Because if he wins, he's gonna expunge all that stuff off his record
Yeah,
because he'll be able to do it.
but he already paid the judges.
They'll have to pay
It's
him back.
like
Hmm.
when people say like we live in a simulation, I truly believe it sometimes. Like some of the stuff I see, it gotta be someone with the PS2 controller controlling was what we seeing at this current moment. Because you
Ooh.
can't make it up. You can't make this up at all, Freezy.
Freeze, could I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
You seen the shot when they shot at Trump, right?
Yes.
You seen all the people that was sitting behind him.
Yes.
Nobody ran.
Right.
There was a
That
woman taking a video of it.
nobody ran.
that
If
that
it was
woman was
one black
recording
person
it.
there,
Yeah, go ahead, my fault.
everybody would have ran.
Right.
Like I don't understand those instincts. Like if I get shot at, I'm not jumping up to put my arms up. I'm dipping. I'm
Exactly.
gone, bro. You ain't seeing me until November. I'm gone
Hold
till
up.
November, like Wyclef, man.
No, it hit you with the the white
The
power
white power
movement.
fist.
Yo, that was I don't know, man. I'm not even a conspiracy theorist like that, but that was just I ain't
That
never
was
seen
deep.
nothing like that in my life. You know what's funny? I feel like I say I've never seen nothing like that in my life every 2 months.
Right.
We used to say stuff like that every 5 years.
Hmm.
Trump took it up. He turned it up.
Oh man, this
He like
is
at this point they don't it's nothing they don't expect from me, so I'm gonna go all out.
damn man, yeah. I've never I I'm I be at a loss of words seeing the stuff I see on TV, man. It's the cult of personality. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try not to watch too much
He
because they doing a
embodies
lot.
he embodies a lot of the ugliness that is America. He's just he just pulled the covers back. Like Republicans and Democrats try their best to hide a lot of what's wrong with America. Democrats still try. Republicans don't even care at this point. They tried up until like 2012,
Right.
and then when Obama got in that second term, they were just like, "F it, we ain't even. We just gonna do whatever it takes at this point. Whoever's the greatest, we just gonna follow behind them."
See, but that's my thing, man. So we point out what Republicans do, bro, and I still have not seen a Democrat do anything impactful in my lifetime, like world changing stuff. Like for instance, when I think about Bill Clinton, I think about the smartest American, the most not smartest because he did some dumb stuff, but in terms of intellect, the most intellectual president that maybe ever, right? In terms of IQ and things of that sort, right? Probably the most intelligent president ever. You know what I remember him for? And I know y'all are all gonna remember him for different stuff, right? I
I know.
remember I
Nah,
remember
we all
him
remember him
for
for the same thing.
I remember him for playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall.
Oh, I know you was
Oh,
gonna go to
come
the
on,
sax.
man.
That's what I remember him for, bro. I remember
Freezy,
him for beating George Bush because I was in I was in the desert. No lie. I was in the military. I was in the desert. I remember getting the newspaper and seeing that Clinton wins on the front of the newspaper, right? And I was like, Clinton wins? Wow.
And you knew you was
'Cause that
coming
was back,
home.
that was back when we thought if you ever got in, you was gonna serve 8 years straight. Right. That was like if you ever get in, you're gonna win 8, you're gonna, and when I got the newspaper, and yes, you had to get the news by the newspaper back then, right? I was in the desert, right?
They had
But-
two different newspapers, the morning and the evening.
yeah, bro, and then Jimmy Carter. You know what I remember Jimmy Carter for?
Being a
Not
farmer.
being able to get Iran hostages home.
Yep.
He looked weak, bro. He looked like a sucker. Right? They like, no, we ain't even talking to you. And you like, yo, he the president. Yo, you the president, bro.
And 20 years prior, we were bombing the hell out of countries just because.
Just because they felt like it. And this dude
Exactly.
is here, and you can't even get hostages home. Right? And then when Barack Obama, you know what I think about Barack Obama when he was president? He was the first black president, right? That was good enough for me the first term. You the first black president, that was good enough for me, right? And then I thought about that bailout money that he gave all those. He could have legit sent everybody on this panel $17,000 in cash, but he chose not to do that. He bailed out companies that had misappropriated funds for years. That's what I think about Obama. Right now, mind you, I was a Cory Booker fan, and I know a lot of y'all don't know who Cory Booker is. If you do,
Senator of New Jersey.
yeah. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. No big deal. Light skin love. Light skin dudes gonna stick together.
Light
Right.
skinned
Wasn't Cory
bald
Booker
guys
the
don't
mayor
stick
first?
together.
Yeah,
Of
bro.
Newark.
He was the
beat
mayor in
Sharp.
Newark first, right?
Yeah, he beat Sharp James. If anybody remember who Sharp James is,
And
bro,
that he's like a recyclable.
bro, Sharp James is like the mayor of a sitcom, bro.
Mhm.
Like Sharp James is like would be the mayor in a TV show like Power.
Oh,
You know?
nah. The Wire. He's the mayor
like
from
the
The Wire.
yeah. Yeah, like you think he crooked, and look like he crooked. Everybody know he crooked. He know you crooked, but ain't nothing you can do because if you say something, he gonna send his goons to your house. You know what I'm saying?
Barry.
Yeah. So I didn't know who Barack Obama was. He came from out of Chicago area. I didn't know who he was. I had always been thinking that Cory Booker was going to be the first black president of the United States, but then they had this young Democrat from Chicago come up and speak at the Democratic National Convention.
Junior senator.
Bro, and when I heard him speak, bro, I was like, he gonna be president in 4 years. Because remind you, we were coming off the George Bush era years where dudes was throwing shoes at the president.
In far countries.
Yeah. But when I heard Barack Obama, bro, I was like,
Yeah.
he it.
Obama is real tight with Bush, though.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Is the Democrats
That's
cool.
a real thing, Freeze. You know that, right?
Yeah. I know.
Let's say the Democrats are cool with the status quo. Like they're cool with things just being as it is with extremely slight adjustments, if that. Whereas the Republicans just want to take it back to the good old days. So it's kind of just, it's like, it's token olive branches that don't mean anything from the Democrats. And it's like absolutely nothing that you're being offered on the other end. So like, I understand your point, otherwise, where it's like, you don't like being played with in your face. I get that. I don't either.
Right.
But the other end is you either getting played in your face or you're getting slapped in the face. You just take it at this point.
You gotta learn how to duck.
But I mean, what I'm saying though is basically what I'm getting at is the Democrats is just like in my entire life. I'm talking about 50 plus years, bro. Democrats are like, vote for us because we're not like them. They not like us. That's it.
Here we go.
Freeze,
Go ahead, Kendrick Lamar.
wasn't the first party Democrat though? Because at first it was
Well,
only
the
one party.
actual Republicans are called Democratic Republicans. So-
Yeah.
Because the first party, at first it was only one party. It was all Democrats.
And
And
then
then
you
the
had
Democrats split apart.
no, I think you had Whigs first.
You had what?
Remember
The
the Whigs?
Whigs.
Yeah, Whigs. You had
the first party is the Republican Party. Then
It's the Republicans.
no, you had
then
several,
it turned into the Democratic Republican Party, which is
So- yeah. So you had a bunch of parties. You had Dixiecrats. You had a bunch of parties.
man.
You had
Mhm.
you also had the Black Panther Party. Like people think the Black Panther Party started out in
Right.
Oakland with Stokely. Nah, the Black Panther. You remember when your party was represented by animals? Remember that? You had your
Mhm.
elephant, your panther, your donkey, your I think eagles or something.
Mhm.
And so you had, but the thing, I guess the thing I'm getting at though is this in a sense that Democrats haven't shown me over the years that they have a go-getter. That's not their image. Like Democrats generally pander to keeping the peace, don't rock the boat. Like they legit be like, hey man, if black people, if y'all be good about 2 or 3 times every 20 years, I'm gonna send y'all a stimulus check. And black people will wait those 5 years
Yep.
for a $1,800 stimulus check.
Yeah.
And make sure they don't work.
They
Make
give
sure
you,
they don't work.
Yeah.
they only give you attention when your vote actually might be in jeopardy.
You're right.
Or when the economy is bad
Yeah.
Right.
So
and they need you to spend your money that they give you.
Right.
it's legitimate. Like Democrats are about just keeping a status quo. They don't want to rock the boat whatsoever.
Right.
Which is
Like
cool, whatever.
like Dre, you remember when the country was shut down? Remember the country was shut down and people were unemployed, like they couldn't go to work, so the government was sending people a little bit bread here and there. You notice that money ran out? Like people legit went from making
That stimulus caused the inflation. Well, part of the reason the inflation got out of hand right now.
No, bro.
Part of it. Part of it is.
Bro, that was our money already. That was money we had already put into the system.
But
yeah, but let me finish my point though. I want to finish
All right.
finish the point though. So when the unemployment money, when people went from making $1,500 a week, right? People were making like, say you make $1,500 a week, just or $2,000. Say you make $2,000 a week, right? So your check went from $2,000 a week to $400 a week, right? And at that same time, the Democrats snuck $4 billion to the country of Georgia because it was a former Soviet state, right? $4 billion, right? And then after we got back to work and all that stuff, and everybody got like raises and stuff at their job and all that stuff, sorry I had to sit through this. Man, I think Joe Biden sent like $8 billion to the Ukraine, right? So we're like, wait a minute. So you sent $4 billion to Georgia and $8 billion to the Ukraine. But when we was out of work, Lysol was $9 a can. And for those that
And when he sent that money to the Ukraine, he said he was going to bring us back some gas and some rice.
Basically.
I remember he really said that.
Bro, and no disrespect to people that eat pork or don't eat pork, but I remember being in Walmart, the thick cut bacon of the 3-pound thing of thick cut bacon was $37.
Come with the black label.
$37, and it usually costs $12. But you just sent $8 billion to the Ukraine.
It's about keeping the status quo.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, like when people say just vote Democrat, just pull down the ticket, bro. I'm like, nah, bro, they trying to get, bro. I'm a big guy, right? I like to eat. right? You telling me I would have had to spend $37 for a pack of bacon, but you sending $8 billion halfway around the world? Are you serious?
Yep. Because if you remember at that time, the gas prices was like almost $5 a gallon.
I remember we were running out of gas. I'm in South Carolina. We were
And he
running out
went,
of gas. Gas stations were legit closed. All you could do was go buy lottery tickets in Newports. Lee, you remember that? Lee, you down here? Lee down south. Lee, you remember when gas prices was like $5.05? Bro, I'm driving a 4-door F-150. Bro, I'm driving a F-150 with these big ass tires, and you talking about a gallon of gas is
You
$5?
driving a gas station. That's what you drive.
But I bought I bought the gas guzzler when the Republican was in office. The Democrat in office, I got to drive a EV.
Crazy.
I'm
So he
asking.
had to get that money over there so he could get some gas and rights over here. That was crazy.
Yeah,
He sent it at the last minute.
Yeah, they wilding, bro. I'm saying I don't know how I'll vote in November, but what I am saying is somebody that has sat through this thing. It's like Groundhog Day. Democrats are saying the Republicans are the worst thing to ever happen to mankind, right? And then we'll vote for Democrats and they'll win. And then our gas price is going to be $9 a gallon, and a pack of bacon is going to be $68, and we're going to blame Republicans for not letting such and such go through the legislative branch. If the Republicans would stop blocking all the stuff, then we could send like the student loan for the student loan forgiveness thing that they promised, and then they came back after the fact and had to eat their words. The Republicans blocked it. We thought we had a clear path. Nah, bro, y'all shouldn't have promised people that and then didn't do it.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually got through.
Huh?
I actually got a little bit taken off, a little haircut taken off.
Bro, it's crazy, bro.
Not everyone
Instead of all of it, bro, they promised all of it, and they gave you, like what you said, the 10% that they give you.
Exactly. You see how that went down, Jake? You like, yeah, but I got mine. Freezy looked at you like, what?
I can still see like how it's still not fair and it's still not right. That's why I'm like, they're all about the status quo, and I want better than the status quo. But the opposite is just like,
of course,
get it how you live. That's the other side.
But Drake,
you can't even. Hey man, don't even mention the word reparations. You might make a couple people fall out, like get a heart attack right in front of you, Freezy.
How do you not give that? Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's move away from that and just talk about this.
Yep.
How do you not give black people reparations where Native Americans get reparations and Jewish people got reparations from Germany?
All Asian Americans too, man.
We ain't hear you, bro.
Those groups aren't large enough, or they have too much power. And you know which group I'm referring to when I say that.
Yeah, I know.
So it's one of those things where if you gave how many millions, like 20 million Black Americans in this country, that money, it would tip the scales in a way that would make the greater society uncomfortable.
It would be too much equality.
That's why. You could do that for the million and change the Native Americans that are damn near going extinct. You could do that for an Asian population that aren't really running amok in terms of population in this country. You can't do that for 20 million.
You talking about the Asian people? You talking about that were held in concentration camps during World War II in the United States? Yeah.
You can't do that with 20 million Black people. Because now you giving people a head start for a chance of equal footing. They don't want. Neither side wants that. Period.
Well, here's the thing with reparations, right? Does a reparation have to be cash?
It could be land.
It could be education.
It could be education.
But it could be.
But all of those things.
It could be healthcare.
Yeah, but all of those things we lack in, and having those things would basically be a bonus that can lead into the other things. If you have better education, it leads to better health, it leads to better money, like it leads to land. If you have better health, it has all of these things. Like it's a trickle down effect, and they know that. They know that. Like even if you were to say, if it was land or education, black people can use that as a boon, as a stepping stone to get the other factions corrected. But once you have us down in multiple aspects, any help would be too much to them because they'd be like, we gave you this boon, and in 2 generations, you damn near 90% of us. Hell no.
Right. Yeah, Dre, I don't know if it's that. I don't think that's the main reason why the reparations is not issued. I think the reparations thing
Yeah,
is simpler,
it
right?
is.
If you know black people are disproportionately hated and you give them a reason to be hated even more, then I think you'll see an uptick in certain stuff. And I don't want to mention that stuff, but I'll allude to it, like crime and retaliation and things of that stuff. Because the one thing I noticed, right, about my people, and I'm not gonna. This is not about every black person USA. This is about the black people that I know. When we get money, we have to prove to other black people that we have money, right? Like when we get money, we'll buy an 80-inch TV to go in a house that we rent.
Yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
When we get money, we buying necklaces. The baby, your 8-month-old baby is gonna have a pair of Jordans for every day of the week, and then a year when that baby turn a year, they ain't gonna have no use for those shoes.
these are generational behaviors
Right.
when you start in a deficit, unfortunately.
Right. This
My
is
thing is this though, Freeze. Like for them to give reparations to a people in a country that are not even people, they will have to break the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. That's why they ain't giving it to us. We were basically written into the Constitution as property.
I know.
So,
I heard you.
so if that's the case, how could they pay us reparations? It's the language that they use. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start to go into the law, you gotta basically go back into the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And that's the language of it. And that's what it's based on in this country.
Right, but I understand you're talking about the original document, but the amendments that came afterward clarified that though. Right, so you have
Clarify
amendments.
it how.
And when slavery was abolished, and you know this already, when slavery was abolished, the language that came after such declared black people citizens of this country, right? And in order to be a citizen, you have to be a man or a woman, right? The amendment, I forget, I think it might have been the 16th Amendment, 18th, one of them. It said the only form
The
of
14th.
slavery or indentured or servitude is if
Right.
you enter into the penal system.
Right. And that's just what Dre was just speaking on. And what you was just speaking on with crime. It's not necessarily the same way, but it's the same way. They're using the same method in different mediums. And they keep us bonded in bondage one way or another, majority of us.
For some of us, they don't have to keep us there, bro. Some of us volunteer.
That's a fact too.
They don't have some people. Some of us don't have awareness. They don't have a knowledge of the things that go on around them. Right? They
Exactly.
go by entertainers as their icons. Malcolm X said it. When Malcolm X said in the '60s that entertainers and athletes shouldn't be speaking about delicate political issues. they should be in their sport and shut up. They should sing and dance and shut up. That's what Malcolm X said, right? And to a point, I believe when he said it, it was taken the wrong way. But basically, what he was saying is something that Uncle Freezy said on Blawren's Tears one time. Everybody that have a microphone shouldn't be talking, right? It's
People need to be qualified.
Yeah. It's give an example. When Fritz Alcindor comes on the show, and we talk Knicks or whatever, bro, I sit back and I'm like, he's more qualified to speak about certain stuff than I am. Right? So if he studies this stuff and is sharing his knowledge, why would I step up and interrupt? Hey man, go ahead, bro. You got the runway. Like when Dre be talking about stuff over there, I'd be like, you got the runway because you studied this stuff and you're more qualified.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of our community, I think we are at a place where at times we are a detriment to ourselves. And here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing. The thing with reparations is I don't think reparations should be a lump sum form of payment. I don't. And if it does happen, if there is installments, say it's installments, right? Say it's installments. Say it's $1 million in an annuity over 20 years, right? So that's what is that? That's like $50,000 a year, divided up over 12 months, right? So you're talking about 480 payments. So 1 million divided by 480 payments.
Yeah,
I think it should be done that way, and it can't be leaned, right? It can't be leaned. Like somebody can't come to you and like, yo, you owe us your house in foreclosure, sacrifice yourself. Nah, no. You can't allow predators of any type to siphon that money because that's what predators do. Predators see something valuable and they siphon or take it away boldly, right? It looks like a symbiotic relationship, but actually it's predatory.
Yep. I think Freezy also. I do. It feels like it might be strange because there's a direct correlation with poverty and violence, but I feel like a group like Black Americans getting reparations, there will be hostility from other races and violence that comes with it in terms of targeting Black Americans.
It will.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I think you don't see reparations. The right thing to do would be, have the reparations conversation, and then figure out a way to do reparations in a way that makes sense for the country and for its citizens that were impacted by it. Right. And that makes the most sense. But at the same time, everybody that money goes to is not going to be financially literate. Right? Like you give a Black person $1 million in cash, they're gonna be in white people's face. I'm rich. It's about time you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead, take this bread. So that the reason why I got this bread is because 20 generations of my people were negatively impacted.
Like if you do this, you got to give Black people financial literacy courses.
Make them go, and if they don't pass, they don't get no bread.
Yeah, you got it. You got to pass. You got to get a certification. You say XYZ. I know how to do this. And then after that,
they're gonna make you get 1,000 on the test. They're gonna be like, you failed.
If you get out of that and trick off your money, then that's on you.
Why?
Nobody's gonna get the money.
You gotta do that because you gotta do that. Why? Because what's gonna happen is when Tamika boyfriend get that $1 million, you might be creating a criminal.
Yeah.
You got to be the one that's regulating it, though. You can't let it. Got to be somebody from our people that's regulating for our people. It can't be them.
We the worst, bro.
Because they're gonna be telling us, None of y'all pass. None of y'all get the money. It's gonna be that same 10% that's gonna get it. And as soon as they come out to check cash in on the bank, we gonna be waiting for them.
Bro, bro, that's how, bro, what, okay, so y'all, I think the point of poverty creates criminals.
Yeah, that's a
I
fact.
understand that, right? I understand that, right? I don't necessarily agree with that, bro. I think opportunity creates criminals, right? Like for instance, if you give somebody $1 million and say they just selling, say they just selling dime bags because they broke. If you give them $1 million, you think they're gonna stop selling dime bags?
I mean,
No.
it's really
they
the
don't
cause
know how to do anything else.
Right.
is really a lack. That's the thing. It's a lack of knowledge. They don't know. Like a person to do a crime, they'll steal from a store because they see the food right there, but they don't got no money. But they didn't know that right across the street they was giving free food.
Or they could just talk to Poppy like, Poppy, I'm broke.
Exactly.
Can I just come in here and when you about to close, can I just come in here and sweep the floors and mop or whatever? And maybe
Exactly.
you could throw my family a couple of sandwiches or something, and I could help you close the store, make sure don't nobody come in here and pop you, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
When you don't know, you don't have communication skills.
Bro,
That's the problem. Literacy
Or
is
you don't
a
even know how to
problem in our
barter.
community. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It come with, you gotta have some type of communication skills, and if you don't know nothing except how to sell nickel bags on the corner, that's all you can communicate. And if you
bro,
don't know how to translate that language that you speak into other things, then you lost everywhere else you go.
Yeah, it's
yo, I no lie, bro, Wise, I'm gonna tell you, no lie, hand to the man, bro. I saw my pops beat my neighbor almost to death, bro. I had to pull my pops off the dude. You know why this happened? Like my pops is one of them dudes, like he'll drink and he'll get loud. And I don't care nothing. I'll buy the whole ice cream truck if I want to. They'd be like, I'd be like, Jim, hey, give me 50 cents. And my pops didn't like me calling him by his name, right? Right. It bothered him that I would call him by his government name, right? But it bothered me that he wouldn't be a father. So it was like this back, you know what I'm saying? This thing. So ice cream truck would come and I'd be like, hey, Jim, the ice cream truck outside. Didn't I tell your ass to stop calling me Jim? I hear it. So I'm a little kid. Why you not giving me 50 cents for the ice cream truck? If you hear it, I buy the whole fucking truck if I want. And I'm like, Jim, I don't want you to buy the whole truck, bro. I just want to, I'm a little kid. Just buy me an ice cream.
yeah.
But that's it. That was his personality because he was a drinker. He get all loud but my neighbor Dre, I'm gonna say, I know you know this, but I'm gonna just troll you a little bit.
Yeah.
My neighbor kept stealing our clothespins off the clothesline. Right. Lee, you remember clothespins? Remember the little wood
Hell
pins?
yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
so we used to hang them out. Wise, you remember when the clothesline used to be from your house to the line, and you just get out the window
You pull it out the window.
Yeah, and you just put, you know what I'm saying? You just hang out your clothes or whatever, and then you pull them in once they get dry. Every time we come outside, our clothespins are gone. And my father saw my neighbor, my father, was sneaking in the backyard to smoke his little pen joint. Yeah, I remember when joints used to be like a popsicle stick. I mean, not even like a lollipop stick. Remember when joints used to be small, like a little lollipop stick and a little pen, little prison joints or whatever? And people's face used to be sucked up. It used to be like they looked like they was eating lemons. They had to pull so hard on the So my pops was sneaking behind the house to go ahead and smoke him a little pen joint, and he bumped into my neighbor, and I saw it with my own eyes, and all the clothespins fell out of my neighbor's shirt. And it was
he beat the brakes off your neighbor.
That sounds like a cartoon, man. Like you pop somebody
on sight.
You hit him and he just explode. like he's Sonic and he got hit by something. He explode with rings.
Bro, and clothespins cost 99 cents. You can get 50 clothespins for $1, basically, right? But that wasn't the principle. Because if our neighbor needed $1 for some clothespins, man, my pops would have gave him $5. Like Joe, you that broke? Well, you got to steal. Nah, bro, don't do that, bro. Here, take these $5. That's how my pops was, right? But when them clothespins fell all over the alley ground, you know how the houses be side by side, and man, them clothespins fell out Joe's shirt. And my pops is not a fighter, right? He ain't that dude. He'd talk real loud and walk around in a circle for a long time and hope somebody get him. Everybody that was my pops, right?
If your pop
Don't
was
hold me
tall,
back.
you could probably
Your
get
pops
away
was
with
like,
it
"Don't hold
against
me
a lot of
back. Don't hold me back."
Yeah, he was that dude, right? He was that dude. He'd rather drink with you. If y'all get mad, he'd rather talk real loud for an hour and then both of y'all drink like a pint of Bacardi or something. That was him. That's the type of thing. But when them clothespins, when I say them clothespins bust out of Joe's shirt, it was on sight, bro. Like my pops was beating that man. Like Joe was trying to run out of his shirt. You know how somebody trying to get away? You see their shirt be stretching like that, like that. And yo, I jumped on my pop's back and was pulled like trying to. And I was bigger than me and my pops were probably about the same size. Probably about I was probably in about 8th grade. Probably in 8th grade. We was about the same size, about 5'10", whatever. And I jumped on my father back. I was like, "No, Jim, no, Jim, no." And Joe took off running, and he chased Joe around the car, right? You know how you trying to get to somebody on the street, trying to run or whatever. And Joe behind the Regal, "Jim, what's wrong with you, fool?" And so my father had tears in his eyes, bro. He was like, "Instead of your ass, you my neighbor, instead of you saying that you ain't had no money, you would rather steal our clothespins, right? Instead of just saying that you needed $4 or $5, you would rather steal clothespins, bro. All you had to do was tell us in the neighborhood, we not like that. You think we'd have turned you away, bro? Man, yo, when y'all cook, my kids eat, and when we cook, your kids eat, and y'all stealing clothespins? Bro, that it made my pops so mad, bro. I ain't never seen my pops that emotional in his life, bro. Right?
I'm surprised you ain't jump in, Freeze.
Nah, man, because the shit was fun. I mean, come on, why? Think about this. I ain't never seen my pops fight nobody, bro. When my pops didn't even used to beat me, bro. Like when I would do something, he made me mad one time. I opened all his Budweisers and poured them down the sink and left them into the sink. Like a 6-pack, right? Just open and just poured them in the sink and left them in there. And he was so mad because the store was cold. This is like 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody walking no 14 blocks to no all-night liquor store just to go get a 6-pack of beer, right? That man was so mad at me, he was shuffling his feet and he wouldn't even beat me, bro. He just took his belt out and hit me on the hand. And you could see the tears coming down his face, bro. Like he wasn't that type of dude. I'm not saying he was soft. What I'm saying is everybody not built the same. It's basically, but the reason why I'm telling that story, Dre, is because some people just not gonna know what to do with the kind. Like when you in those situations, some people just not gonna know what to do, bro. They just not. Like if you send somebody $1 million, I guarantee, bro. You send somebody $1 million to their card, when they get the alert on their phone, I know people, the first thing they're gonna do is go buy an Escalade, bro.
Oh my God. I mean, Chappelle had a skit just about it.
Yeah,
That man bought a truck full of cigarettes, straight cash.
Straight cash, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, this is what I'm
saying, like, this is the things that happens when you're behind the 8 ball generationally. Because even when black people get money now, you know what? A lot of black people who do get money, they think about, how am I going to take care of my parents?
Right.
Well, white people get money, they like, I got to take care of me.
I'm gonna put this in some type of annuity where I can get guaranteed payments for such and such a number of. If I'm 50, right? I'm thinking I got to figure out some type of way to get paid for the next 30 years, right? So I'm gonna put money in a 20-year annuity and then use that to fund another annuity. When those annuity payments come in, I'm going to use that to fund another annuity where I can get interest on money, and then I can get a paycheck for myself. That's what I'm doing, right? Like if I ever hit the Powerball, what I'm doing is setting up my own annuity, not a state-sponsored annuity, right? My own annuity where I could put that money in there. Where if somebody kidnapped me and be like, "Yo, give me all your money," yo, it's an annuity, bro. I mean, I get what you gonna do? Rob me every month on the same day? It's an annuity, bro. I don't who carries around all that money, right? And so the reason why I say that is because with our people, bro. Yo, Dre, one of my homeboys, no lie, we was in the mall. We see a dollar bill flying in the air, right? We racing for it, right? I'm oh snap, that's $1. We running for it, right? My homeboy beat me to it. It go under the car. He climb under the car and get it. It's a $50 bill. We broke, right? We broke, right? It's Sunday night. You know how you get paid on Friday? By Sunday night, you broke. That fool got that money, got that $50 bill on a Sunday afternoon coming out the mall. Guess what he did with it?
Spent that same day.
He went right back in the mall and bought him a Peli Peli.
A Peli? Oh my God.
Bro, he went right back in the mall and bought a Peli Peli for $49. Why?
Can't make it up, man.
These my people, bro. I know you don't know about the black experience, but these my people, bro.
Nah, I don't know about it.
And so what I'm saying about the reparations thing, I'm not saying that you should earn it in that sense. What I'm saying is that you should be educated so when you do come into a large sum of money, you won't make the same mistakes that others made and then be in a worse situation than the previous 20 generations were in, right? You should be in a situation where you should help the next 20 generations. Like $1 million should be able to help the next 20 generations if you use it right. Right. And what I'm saying is if you get $1 million, you shouldn't be thinking about an Escalade. Right. You shouldn't be thinking about the Hamptons. Because even if you buy, first of all, you can't afford a house in the Hamptons with $1 million. Right. You're not buying nothing in the Hamptons with $1 million. Right. But if you do buy a house, you got to think about, you buy a big house, you got to think about how your light bill is going to go up 600% because you lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. And now that you're in a 6-bedroom, 4.5 bath, your light bill going up. Your homeowner's insurance is going to be crazy. Right. You're going to have to furnish that place. All these type of things that you think, well, I got
budgeting has never been a strong point in the black community.
Right.
But you know what though? That's something that people got to learn, and everybody learn at their own pace. So imagine if a person is 60 years old, they not really financially literate. By the time they not going to school, first of all, but by the time they was to become financially literate, they wouldn't have no chance to do nothing with that money anyway.
Yeah,
so you got to give people their money and let them do what they're gonna do with it, because they're gonna do that anyway. Like you might try to invest your money in something and do something positive, but you just make bad investments.
What's the guy that got his ass whooped by the cops in LA and they caught it on tape?
Rodney King.
Bro, Rodney King got that money and started a record label.
Yeah. Look at Derek Coleman.
Black people was getting money in the 2000s.
You remember Derek Coleman, right?
Man.
Yeah.
You remember what he did with all his money?
People was getting money and getting clothing lines, man.
He bought some what did he try? I think apartment complexes.
Who, Derek Coleman?
Yeah,
he bought a bunch of stuff in Detroit.
Which in theory
and
is
everything fell. But at the time it was.
Yeah. In theory it's not a bad idea, but it's where you invest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you buy apartment complexes and you hook up all your people and they don't have to pay you nothing, you have to pay property tax on that thing. You have to pay maintenance, all of that stuff, bro.
It's like when you get people, unfortunately, it's a plight of the athlete as well.
Yeah,
athletes get money and they get guys around them that don't earn their keep, and
Yeah.
then they get broke.
Entourage.
Like, yeah, they go broke trying to give money out to people that's not even earning their keep. Like, in that position, you better be doing something to benefit me or something that earns money with the money I'm giving you. Otherwise, what am I giving it to you for? Just so you can blow it on stupid stuff? You need to figure out a way to be self-sufficient,
Yeah.
not to be dependent.
Like,
And
look how many people MC Hammer used to travel with.
Oh my God.
trying to help his hood. Hey, but I'm gonna tell y'all another true story. I promise I'm gonna move out of the way, right? Me and Mo have property, right? And a lady legit kept being late. Like the payment is due on the first. We're like, yo, when we draw up the paperwork, the property management company that we get, because we don't like doing stuff face to face. Hey man, listen, we don't like to do this, but you have a 15-day grace period, right? Everybody else have a 5-day grace period. 5 days they start tacking on interest, right? 5 days. This on the 6th day you owe $25. On the 10th day you owe $100, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not to take advantage of people, but try to have it in place to be a deterrent, so people won't be late, right? So this lady kept paying on the paying on the 20th, the 27th. Like, and by the time she paid, another payment was due. She did this for like 6 months. So we go visit. We're like, hey, man, Darlene, wait, what you doing? Can you, Darlene, what you doing? I just can't. You know, when I moved in here, I was working overtime, and I put, oh shit, Darlene. Darlene, so you telling me you can't afford to pay $1,000 a month? Right, when I was working overtime, you know, and then I'm looking in the yard, you know, I see all kind of bikes and stuff, see all kind of rims on the car. You know what I'm saying? Kids outside, they hooping on the rim. Everybody got on Jordans. I don't say nothing. What people do with their money, I don't care. All I care about is mine. Right? No lie. Me and Mo go tell me, like, I'm like, hey, we gotta do something, man, about Darlene. Me and Mo, we like, hey, Darlene, what's happening? We're tell Darlene, like, hey, you don't have to pay this month, right? We'll take that one on it. This is an agreement we had in place. We're gonna tell Darlene, you don't have to pay this month. Just get back on track. And then what we'll do is when the lease is up, you'll pay us that $1,000. So you got like 14 months to pay that $1,000. You know, $100 a month, whatever it is. Because you know, we like Darlene, good people, whatever. So we go, and she like, I know y'all ain't coming over here for no rent. Wise, no lie, hand to the man. This is a Sunday morning, and I keep looking at my phone. It's Bully calling me. It's a Sunday morning, no lie. I keep looking at my phone. It's Bully calling me, right? And I'm like, I can't answer because I'm in. Y'all, who y'all think y'all is? Just because y'all hate landlords, right? And I'm like, Darlene, we just came over, and she cussed me out like you red frog-eyed motherfucker. Just all kind of just cussed me out, right? In front of my wife in the car. My wife getting out the car. She got pepper spray. Darlene don't know she about to get it, right? she about to get it, right? And so then she cussed us out, and I was like, you know what, Mo, this is the reason why I don't like doing, no disrespect, I don't like doing business with my people, because they'll play you on some, you know what I'm saying? So you know, we the property manager call, hey man, did y'all tell Miss such and such to get out? No. So we go, man, they leave, right? Wise, I ain't never been in the house, right? Because I ain't never have no reason to, right? Ain't nothing was broken, no complaints about that. Bro, we go in the house, bro. It looked like an episode of Hoarders in there. Roaches everywhere. Just my bathroom is broken. You know, the top of your shower. You know how you got the shower stall in there, and the wall up there. All of that is punched out. Right, you go in the bedroom, the closet doors are off the hinges, right? All is the back behind the stove. You know how when people cook and they get greasy back there, they don't ever clean it.
Yeah, man.
All these things. It looked like, man, they punch holes. They got graffiti on the walls. F you this, all type of stuff. Mo see this and Mo break down crying, bro, and I break down crying too. Right? I'm crying with Mo. I'm like, yo, I can't believe somebody would do this to us. Right? I'm mad. I'm emotional at the same time. You go over there, right? You go over there to help somebody out, and that's how they do you. Like legit, I ain't gonna lie. If we'd have saw her, bro, you know how Jim beat up the dude that stole the clothespins, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, you like, yo, this is how you and Wise, listen, we don't come from bread, bro. We don't come from money. Like we used to live in a single wide trailer. When we used to live in a single wide 3-bedroom, single wide old trailer with holes all in the floor. I had to put plank board over it until I could fix it. And we came from that, went to school, worked our way up, started being smart with our money, got to a place where we could start doing things and then helping others. Because they came to us, right? Because the first time I tried to do it, man, the dude tried to talk trash to me. I was like, yo, I'm going to kill him. And then the dude was like, nah, man, you don't do that. Just get a management company. Let them take their little 10% of whatever. And then you ain't got to worry about the headache. Well, okay. At first I didn't like it, but then I was like, okay. Bro, Wise, when we went over there, bro, and saw how they left our house, we legit started to take them to magistrate court, put them people in jail.
Yeah,
right?
as you should.
That's what we started to do for how you leave somebody's stuff, right? Like you gonna punch holes in the wall and write graffiti, F you this and blah blah blah, and you could tell little kids was doing stuff. They drawing little wieners and stuff all on the wall and all that stuff. And we like, yo, why would you do that to somebody, bro? Like Dre, listen, they were staying in we bought a double wide, and it was, think about this, bro. We bought a double wide. It was 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and Lee, think about this, right? It was clean, right?
Mhm.
It was 2,800 square feet for $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Think about that, bro. And can you imagine what you'll pay in rent?
Yeah, that's crazy.
For 1,400 square, half that in New York, what you'll pay. Had 1,400 square foot in Queens, New York, you probably paying $3,000 easy off rent.
Like 3,500.
Yeah, and so double that. You on a half an acre of land. You got a fence. You got all this stuff. You got a driveway. All this stuff, man. Your neighbor is about 1,000 feet away, right?
Damn, Freeze, 1,400 square feet though. In Dumbo, that's like 7,000.
Bro, I'm telling you. And for somebody to do that and I know that was off the topic a little bit, but the reason why I brought that up is because when people get money, they don't know what to do with it. Like legit, we probably would have sold her that property. Right? We'd have probably been like, yo, we'll sell it to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It would in theory, it would have been like an annuity to us. Right?
Yeah.
And listen, when you rent it for $1,000, we can't sell it to you for $1,000 a month, right? Because we paying the homeowner's insurance on it and all that stuff, all the stuff that we would have to pay, right? You have to include that in your monthly payment, and then you got to motivate us to sell. So if you do like an extra $200 on top of it, like maybe you buying it for $1,500 a month for 2,800 square foot. And you on a half an acre of land, and you on the corner down south.
Yeah,
bro.
As long as you can make your money back and make it, you doing them a favor, and you keep getting up. It's a circle. It's a cycle.
Yeah, it would have been like an annuity for me and Mo. It's like, yo, that $1,500 a month coming in, that's hitting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And they taking care of it because it's about to be theirs eventually.
It's about to be theirs, yeah.
So it's you ain't really doing that much maintenance on it like that.
Nah, because it's their house now. It's because basically we're gonna have a third party, a trustee, with holding the documents for sale as long as the money come in, as long as they stay on their amortization schedule. Long as they making their payments on time, we ain't got no beef. We ain't even going over it. We ain't even riding down the
Y'all ain't
street.
even going over there.
Yeah.
Facts.
But that's how our people will do you. Like that's why when y'all said send somebody $1 million, nah, they ain't bro. Because if you
Nah,
can't
well,
even
I don't
afford
know
it,
about sending people money like that, but at the end of the day, it would have to be. That's one of the main problems. Like, how would you even do it? Like, it's so many people that got, ideas of how it should be that they never gonna settle on one to get it done in the first place. That's another thing.
right, bro. I'm telling you, like it's like I'm not saying that I'm the sharpest business person because sometimes I let emotions get involved in stuff like this instance right here. With Bully, no lie, Bully and Corey Lee they didn't know that they was cheering me up because I didn't share this with them. But they was like, yo, what's wrong with you? They telling jokes and stuff. They like, yo, man, you ate pasta salad last night. They just telling jokes. I'm smiling, trying to put on a happy face and all that stuff. They don't know they had no idea what I was going through and all of that stuff. But I'm going through this thing. Lee and Bully, they cheering me up. They don't know. They talking to me, you know what I'm saying, about Jay Dilla and all type of stuff, like legit, like trying to cheer me up or whatever. But the point of it all that I'm making is when it comes to like the reparations thing, I think people have to have some level of financial literacy and understand how markets work and things of that sort in order for people to get an understanding of how they can have their money work for them. Right?
I agree, but this is what I'm saying too. Is other people that is not even thinking on those lines because that's not what they want for their life. They might just say, you know what, I'm gonna get this money, I'm not gonna work no more, and I'm just gonna blow it. And they got that right to.
They have that right.
What I'm saying? So you can't really take it from them, and that's why I'm saying it's a funny thing right there. Even how they would dispense the money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm against what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm just looking at the whole picture of it. Everybody's mind is not the same. Is not going to be on that wave of thinking.
Right.
And you can't tell a person, well, you can't get your money because you're not thinking like this. Because as soon as you get your money, you're gonna blow it. Like that's their prerogative too.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that too, Wise. When you do the reparations, do you tell them that they can't get, like, you can't be on public assistance and get this reparations?
Yeah, you're gonna have to come off public assistance. Like the thing, because first of all, like I don't know, like I always look at it like if everybody was to get reparations, but you don't own no real businesses, right? So all the business owners is just gonna go up on prices of everything.
Yeah, inflation is gonna kick in like no other. That's
It's just
another
gonna
reason.
hit you.
That's another
Like
reason why they don't want to do it.
the dollar
On top
value is
of
gonna
that.
go down so low. Like you see how right now we paying $1 for a 25-cent bag of chips.
Yeah.
So imagine if everybody got $1 million, $2 million tomorrow. You gonna go to the store, a bag of chips gonna be $20.
So what? You got $1 million.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how everybody gonna think.
Ain't healthy anyway.
Yeah.
Wise, I got to talk to you about fitness, bro. I gotta talk to you about.
All right, so
about
let's talk about protein bars.
Oh no, let's not. Let me do,
because those is gonna be like $100 then.
Let me do this real quick. He was here and then he disappeared.
Oh,
That's what you expect for Brooklyn, bro.
I thought he was from the greatest borough called the Bronx. Easy.
The Bronx. Because if it wasn't for the Bronx, this thing wouldn't be going on.
That's crazy.
Jay Dilla is in the building. Salute.
Tito was good.
You at, buddy?
Jose,
Bro, but
Can
yo,
y'all
put
hear
that
me?
pasta slow it down, bro. We live.
huh? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's good, sir? Peace.
Oh man, peace, y'all, peace. What up, dude? What up, Freezy? What up, Dre? What up, Allah? Wise, my brother. Yo, I know you're gonna take my head off as soon as you see me. And when what up,
Man.
what up, Ceasley? What up?
What's up?
Ain't
Man,
that
you
what's going on?
Call me sleazy. You stop.
I said C Lee, dude.
I know.
Stop
I'm
it.
messing with you.
King Ribby, what up, homeboy?
Chilling.
Yo, I'm C Lee. I'm still where I'm at. I'm sorry, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm leaving in the morning though.
You ain't gotta explain nothing to me.
Yeah, no doubt. I just we just came in from doing some activities and stuff like that. Grandma in the back, man. I'm gonna try to get her to come up here. So today is actually her birthday. Today the 17th is her birthday. So I'm gonna try to get her to say what's up to y'all. But I seen y'all on the tube, man. I got to know the Big Brother Freeze, man. You've been doing your thing, man. I see you been holding it down for a minute.
Where you at? Pelham Parkway?
Chuck.
Sound like it?
Yo, who are you at? Soundview?
No, man. I'm in
Sunset Park.
Oh, here's
Sunset Park, via side of Montreal and stuff. I'm still in Montreal and stuff. We gonna leave in the morning, man. We kind of stayed, fell back for a minute, but we leaving in the morning. But I came back upstairs, man, because we was chilling, and I seen the topic that was going on because actually I was trying to tell Curly the other day about the situation y'all actually talking about. These Canadians up there is a little nervous about the presidency and stuff. And I just caught on to a little about maybe 4 or 5 minutes of what I was saying, but I think it kind of ties into what the sentiments is up here in these provinces up here in Canada.
I can't. Yo, is he mumbled to y'all or is it just me?
Yeah, he a little muffled.
I'm muffled.
Yeah, you was muffled. It sounded like you said you love Eric Adams. That's what it sounded like you were saying, bro.
It sounded like I said I love Eric Adams. Man,
Yeah, that's what it sounded like you were saying.
Sound like some cuss words you said, Freezy.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. All right. No, I don't love no Eric Adams, but fake hip hop man, cornball, this sanctuary city, let everybody get along gang, let everybody go on there. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yo, Democrats, bro.
And it ain't sound like an opinion. It sound like some facts to me. But
It is facts. It is facts.
Democrats, bro.
It is facts, man. I'm not gonna. For most of my people that know, the 4 people that's on the panel probably know what kind of job I do already and stuff like that. But when
Giuliani was your man.
Giuliani was locking us up, man. You know, you can't do no serious crime.
who invented the RICO, man?
Oh yeah, he's the one who's the architect of the RICO.
Yep.
And he went down on the Rico.
Yeah, he's the blueprint.
How you put in something that takes you down?
It's Batman theory, bro. It's the Batman theory.
Above the law.
Yo, you be the hero long enough for you to become the villain.
Thanks.
Except he was the villain from the jump in reality.
And we didn't know it. Yeah, we didn't know it.
Well, appreciate I like that hat, man. That's a dope hat, kid. For real.
Yeah. Yo, before you jumped on, I was telling them the story about how that lady had left our house all junked up and just awful, bro. It cost us like $3,500 to get that house livable, bro. We had to pay somebody to go in there and clean it out, bro. How you living in somebody's spot and you got dogs and cats in there, and you ain't taking care of it. It walk in there and it smell like German Shepherd and Garfield
Crazy.
and Newport.
German Shepherd, Garfield, and Newports. Nah, that ain't
Yeah, it
cool.
smell like kittens and kerosene in there.
That's not cool.
What
That's
bottles
not
of
cool at
Taco
all.
vodka?
And
Oh nah.
and it's somebody you know, and they mad. They get mad at you because all you asking them to do is do the thing that they agree to do. And they felt like since they know you, they can kind of get away with stuff.
Right. Nah, that's not cool at all, man. But what I want to say
You
is
was gonna talk about Eric Adams?
no, I want to talk about homeboy. He about to go down with his homeboy. Well, you ain't if you ain't know, I know Wise know, and I definitely know Dre know that what was his name? Whitehead, Bishop Whitehead. That's his
Yeah.
homeboy.
Oh, the
He gonna be
scammer.
like, yeah, the scammer. He gonna be locked up right next to him. They used to go golf together, go chill out together, go eat breakfast and lunch, and do all type of secret meetings together and stuff like that. And Eric Adams about to be next door neighbors with him, homeboy. For real. And stuff. But nah, what I wanted to say was I'm voting for the couch. I'm voting for the couch. I'm not voting for Biden, and I ain't voting for Trump. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go too, crazy on it, but something funny about that whole pow. There's something wrong with Biden. He eating too much Gerber, too much beet nuts and whatnot. You know what I mean? Somebody gotta take his depends.
I don't know. They say it's a strategy to vote in anyway. So you got to look at it like if you don't choose a side, if you choose to go in a different path,
It's a vote for
you
Trump.
is basically a vote for that guy.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to go vote for Dr. Cornel West, that's a vote for Trump. You know what
I
I
Yeah.
mean?
mean,
So
if you're looking at it from that point of view, in Trump's mind, it's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't vote for Biden,
It's a
it's
win
a
for
vote for
him.
Trump.
it's a win for Trump.
Yeah.
right.
And I know and listen, I know New Yorkers love Trump, bro, because he's from the city. And listen, I know New Yorkers love Trump,
He
bro.
from Slee Lee Hood. He from Queens, yo.
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
might be the
Queen.
most used name as far as a celebrity in a rap bar ever.
Yeah.
Man, Trump been used 100 billion trillion times, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, man.
It's
I
him
know.
and like Michael Jordan. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was on the Fresh
He
Prince of
been
Bel
doing
Air,
sleazy stuff for a long time though.
Central Park 5, and all of that. Man, I mean, it's almost like
Yeah,
you
I
can't get rid
mentioned
of
that
this dude.
earlier.
Y'all
Oh, you
remember
did?
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with
Yeah, he
Oh
Robin?
was
yeah.
on there too with Robert Leach.
Yeah, you remember when
Yeah,
they was on the yacht and I think he was on the yacht. They was drinking champagne. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I heard of Dom Perignon. I ain't gonna lie. Now I love
Mm.
it. Now I love it. I don't drink nothing else, bro. And I know it ain't nothing but wine with bubbles in it, and I get all of that, right? But all it is the difference between Kool-Aid and soda. I understand that,
They
right?
said that people want
But
champagne witches with beer money.
bro,
certain champagne is different.
I like champagne, especially caviar
Like
together.
after you drink Dawn, you can't never drink Moet again.
No,
You could never drink Moet again.
yo, what's
Yo,
the
Wise,
one?
is that bugging out? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Freeze. That's bugging out?
yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. That's dope, kid. Where that at? What street that's on?
Hey, it was good hollering at y'all boys. I'm a knockout, man. See
All
you
right,
All right,
later.
Dre.
boss. I'm about to get out of here too, man. I didn't
Peace.
mean to run over this long. All right,
Peace,
boss.
peace.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, Dre.
All right, one, Dre. I'm sorry, Freezy. Wise, what street that's on?
Stuyvesant.
On Stuyvesant?
Yeah.
In Gates? Or Monroe?
I gotta think.
Jefferson?
Lee, you
Nah,
hear
it
how,
ain't that far.
they be talking about walking. They're gonna walk
It's
26 blocks. Yo, nah, it ain't nothing but 26 blocks, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, bro, I ain't walking no 26 blocks,
it
bro.
might be Monroe.
Monroe?
Nah,
Jefferson and Monroe?
I
I
think
mean,
it's
Stuyvesant, Monroe.
Kosciuszko.
Kosciuszko? Oh, Kosciuszko. Yeah. All right, got you. Oh, that's over there. Yeah, that's by. All right, so you say Kosciuszko. Yeah, all right. It's Stuyvesant. That's by the little house. All right. Not
Okay.
too far from the store.
That's where he be having a block party.
All right, so that's up
The
the
do
way.
the right thing block party.
Yeah, by Sal's Pizza, where Sal's Pizza was. Where
Yeah.
the replica.
Right.
All right. When I get back in town, man, I gotta check it for sure. I'm sorry, Freezy.
Nah, man, no doubt. Man, I'm about to get out of here, man. Get
My
some
man
rest, man. It's
bugging
been a
out.
long day.
Scientific.
Hey, one of
Oh,
these
dope.
days, man. One of these days, I want to talk to y'all, and I know y'all try to keep it politically correct, but one of these days, man, I want to talk to y'all about belief systems. If Bully, if you're not afraid, I mean, not afraid, but not nervous, but if you got to be careful about the topic. Let me put it that way.
Oh, okay. I think I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to put it that way because I have to be careful about how I speak about it
Is
too.
Grandma up? Hold on, is Grandma up?
Huh?
No, I'm checking on my fans to see Grandma because I want her to get on the microphone real quick. Because today is the day. Today is her 85th.
Oh, happy birthday, Gramps.
Yeah,
Happy
that's
birthday.
why we brought her up to Montreal and everything, and you know what I'm saying. So, what's up? She laying down?
All right. Well, hey, everybody,
all
let
right.
me just say this real
Well,
quick.
tomorrow. I mean, later is later.
So, hey, thank you everybody for coming through and participating and the conversation about what have they done. We appreciate it. I didn't expect to go 3 hours. Sometimes we get together and we start laughing and joking about stuff. So thank you everybody for that came through and hung out for the conversation and contributed. You know, we appreciate it a lot. I learned a lot today, and I hope we help others learn something too. Wise, we got to get you on more often so that you can impart wisdom on us, and so that we can sit back and listen to some stuff and ask questions. And so just if whenever you get some time to do that, man, we appreciate it. You and Ivoryton and others or whatever. So
word.
But on that note, I'm gonna get out of here, everybody. Thank y'all for rocking, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, yo, y'all. Hey, when we gonna have